Round two.
Mama,
we made it. What it do though? For the second time.
always got to be a second time.
Always got to be a second time. The second time's a charm.
We know
Don't be alarmed.
We know it's going to be a special one.
What it is, baby.
When we run it back, it's always special.
Welcome, everybody, to the Mama We Made It podcast. I got my brother in arms sitting right across from me right now, Mr. BWC, Brandon Wade Creations, in the motherfucking building. Welcome, my brother.
Yo.
I'm so happy that we're able to sit with somebody like yourself. Just from me to you, you're a beacon of light. I really feel like you have this aura about yourself as a person where whether you know what you do or whether I know what you do or I don't, I could just tell that like your cool is you. Like you own your cool, right? And ladies and gentlemen, this gorgeous human being is literally the quintessential creator. Multiple mediums, and we'll get into all of that. But my brother, you have one of the dopest like nature versus nurture childhoods that I think I've ever come across. And it's so wild how circumstances in one's life coming up can really start to position their life to take shape in a certain type of way. And, you know, I think it's beautiful that you have this like early kind of dichotomy of the hood and what's good. 1,000. Right? What it do?
Write it down.
So let's take the guest through your childhood, man. Let's start there.
Oh, wow. South Central LA, 1414 West 36th Street.
What it do? West 36.
Mom,
dropping the address.
Yeah, throw up the set,
Jackie, and my grandma, a famous Belizean lady named Ruth Bishop, and they both raised me.
The matriarchs.
Raised by two beautiful women.
That's amazing.
And yeah, it all started there, man. Just like I lived in a house.
So you're Belizean background.
Yeah.
Got it.
Full Belizean. Mom, dad, everybody.
Awesome.
They came, to the U.S. to, America dreams. Everybody has, money, get a good job and things. So that's why they came out here. And, they ended up like coming to South Central LA. That's
the land of dreams.
Yeah, the land of the dreams. That's where they would afford it at the time. And they came over here like during like welfare and all when government cheese was going on and all that other
Absolutely.
shit. Obviously I wasn't born at that time just yet.
Yeah.
And then I happened to be born in the house and growing up in my neighborhood and things, it was fun. Like growing up, I didn't, realize I was growing up in the hood until after I got out the hood. But,
really? What was that? What was that like?
Like growing up in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
It was fun. Like we did all types of stuff. Like I don't know, anything you can think of. I was an outside kid, and like all my friends in my neighborhood were outside kids. Mm-hmm. Whether if they were adopted or they were crack babies or whatever. I mean, anything you could think of. Like when we were outside playing, like nobody cared if you had a dad or didn't, or if your mom was a crackhead down the street. Like we just like played rollerblade, bike. We would build ramps out of like old doors.
Wild.
Like, it was just fun. Like
it's interesting.
It wasn't
because you don't hear like the stereotype of South Central LA is not what you're describing in terms of what maybe the media shows or what you've seen in like what people have seen in movies.
It's like that.
I mean,
it's like that. But
to talk about it from your perspective.
I think that's the beauty of like a child's perspective.
Exactly.
Because like in the first grade, do you think like little Betty knows that little Soo Young is Korean?
No.
You know what I mean? Like or little Brandon's black. Like nobody knows these things until we grow up.
We just wanted to play literally and I'm so thankful like even though I'm young and like now we live in the information age and internet era and all the craziness, like I'm so thankful like I was a kid in like the early 2000s and stuff, like when like it was no computers and popping like that crazy in everybody's homes and people weren't on social media and things because I got to enjoy playing outside, and even now as like a young man, like I thrive off of like being outside. Even though I'm like an introvert and I always at home in my little cave doing my thing, I'm still a big kid and I love being outside. And now when I like see kids like not outside and not playing, it's kind of like, wow, you know, like you just gave your kid an iPad so you can shut up. It's like, I didn't have that. My mom give me a Magna Doodle or something, you know.
It's wild how kids are locked in these days,
man,
though.
dude.
Like eyes not off this screen.
Dog,
No,
like,
dude,
so crazy.
Like 2-year-olds, man.
wild.
2-year-olds.
And they know how to work the phone.
Oh, by
searching
far.
through YouTube, dog.
By far.
Yeah.
It's insane. To
Yo,
me.
my 2-year-old niece has a Facebook pro. No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
No, but people do have their kid like.
But it's
have, like, a
it's
profile.
crazy, like how far technology has come, especially in the youth, and how that's changing. I'm so curious to see how it develops in the next decade.
I just
It's
hope it
actually
gives
wild,
people
bro.
like for instance, that's a good thing you said. Like when the whole like Pokemon Go thing was popping off, like I didn't get into it, but I would like just see how it would get people out the house, and I was excited. Like, yeah, like people are finally getting out.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It's wild. Like they got people out the house and got every single
Incorrect.
piece of information from them possible.
Everybody got out the house, but everybody's like walking past each other like robots.
Bro,
looking at
Not
their
even
eyes
phones.
seeing,
to the
yeah.
phone.
And
Yeah.
if you've ever been to like like Santa Monica, like Pier and different things, like when that was popping off, it was crazy. Like people pushing, like women pushing their strollers with their baby, just looking at their phone on Pokemon Go.
It's zombie
It's, like,
apocalypse.
so crazy. But that's like what we're in, and even I have times where I'm just like, well, I'm like just reaching for my phone and not even like noticing. It's becoming like a habit. And it's like,
Yeah.
But at least now I'm like more of an adult than a kid, and I'm happy. Like I said, like
We're
I just
literally
got
getting
to
into like the Ray
play.
Kurzweil world of like singularity and
Yeah,
shit.
true.
Like just
When as a kid, were you into art?
Yeah, super into art. It was just fun. I just like creating things because like having that my family is from Belizean things is just like, you don't have shit, so it's just like we just make it. If my grandma like wants a bag or like see this like silk bag, she'll make a knitted version, or like, you know what I mean, instead of like going out to like buy food all the time, make food.
yeah.
It's just like, if this door is broken, get something and fix it. And it's just like being around like that whole like perspective all the time. Like the TV's fucking up, get some foil, let's fix this. Here,
Yeah.
I can do this. And seeing my grandma and my mom, like now I appreciate so much, like these women are like magicians. It was like nothing like my grandma and my mom could not like figure out in the house.
That's wild.
Even if they couldn't like reach for it, they would figure out how to reach for it, or how to have me stand on something and they hold me and then I get it and then they get it and then they use it. Like it was just always.
No, shout out to Kid Brandon here, and I'm feeling less of a man right now because I literally had my dad over here, and I'm the least handy fucker on the planet Earth. Like, you asked me to change the light bulb, I'm gonna have to be like, where the instructions at, B?
Yeah, no, but yeah, to be like that, like at least in my house, and I think that like trained me early to start being like the man of the house early, since it was just my grandma and my mom. And through that, I like learned so much, like just being curious, just like if my mom buys me a toy car, like take it apart, like how can I like put it back together? What the fuck's inside it?
Did you feel like that as a kid? Like, did you conceptualize, I'm the man of the house, or was it just kind of
Nah, I
it was
didn't.
just happening?
Just like now talking about my childhood, like I didn't realize anything until like I started getting older. I didn't realize my surroundings until even when I got out, I understood it was like different. You know what I mean? Like I was living in a different area, or like my household was different, or it's a little weird. Like I don't have like a father in the house, or there's not like a male in the house, but they didn't really like fully connect because, like I said, I'm a kid. I'm not even like worrying about that. I'm not like, oh my gosh, like I don't have a like father figure in the house. I'm just like playing. Like you don't really like think about that stuff. Or I'm not like, oh, there's crackheads around. There's crack. Oh my gosh. It's just like, I know that's a crackhead. I know he's smoking crack. When I walk past him, don't even breathe. Just hold my breath and then go play. Like
Wow.
I'm not like thinking of that. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking like, oh my gosh, there's prostitutes everywhere. I'm just like, no, she's working.
Really?
Yeah. And then like when you get older and you get out, and then you start like, oh shit. Like now when I drive back, it's not as bad now when I drive back to my neighborhood or areas or different places. And I'm not making it seem like, I just grew up in like crack.
Yeah.
Or like drugs and like prostitutes.
But
and
in
gangs.
those areas.
But I did.
Yeah.
And it's like reality, you know what I mean? And for people that are listening and from LA or from different areas, they know like it used to be crazy, but now since like technology is popping and all these different things, like people aren't out as much. This was like when people were out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? People were like actually selling drugs on the corner. Like people are selling drugs like via Instagram. And it's like, you don't even, and they catch a Uber to give you the drugs and things. So you like, you don't even actually probably see them, or, you know, they can get a buddy truck to deliver the kilo to you, you know, it's like, you don't even see anybody. Like, where is everybody at?
Where'd everybody go?
Where the fuck did everybody?
Everybody.
Where the fuck is everybody, dog?
Where nobody is here.
Nobody's here.
There are no fucking people
What
anywhere.
phantom presence just arrived and I don't know about right now?
But yeah, I think that's what I just think now. Like, where the fuck is everybody at?
I feel you.
I know I don't be out. Like, I be in my cave, but it's still like, where'd everybody go?
What were some of your aspirations as a kid?
Oh man, I just wanted to I don't know. I think like I looked up to my grandma a lot because my grandma, like, she loved cooking and she just cooked, and I would see my grandma go to work. I mean, I'll see my mom go to work and she just like, fuck work.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm tired of work. But I'll see my grandma just like wake up at 4 a.m. because she always woke up super early and went to sleep super like early too. She'll wake up and like put on her like nightgown, you know, put on like a clay mask or something, relax, watch like Judge Judy, watch like watch WWF every fucking day.
Really?
After that, like, The Rock won great, then go like cook and shit. And I'm just like,
The Rock won great. I'm gonna go cook.
yeah, we're gonna go cook. And if The Rock loses, she's fucking pissed.
Wow,
like,
you're
pissed. Don't even talk to her.
Y'all's food's affected that day.
But it's like seeing like, you know, well, at the time I didn't even think of like, dang, my grandma has a lot of money, she doesn't, or my mom has. I didn't even think of that. I just saw like my grandma is doing what she loves every day, and that's it.
And it showed.
And it showed, like, you know, like she hustled, she set up shop, you know, like, and I seen that with a lot of people in my family, like they set up shop, like they don't even trip.
Your grandma set up shop, what was that?
Set up shop means like, you know, like cool, like you knit sweaters, cool. Set up shop, like start knitting them, knit like 10, start selling them to local friends or whatever. But my grandma sold Belizean food out of the house. So she had like clients, like weekly clients. And she would serve different dishes like weekly. So, you know, her phone will always be ringing like, you know, Ruth Bishop, what food do you have this week? And, you know, I have like dukkanoa, rice and beans, garnaches, like, you know, just different like Belizean meals and stuff. And she'll take people's orders, cool. And, you know, they'll pay her and then she'll make it, you know, and that week they'll pick it up. And also she made like different pastries and Belizean breads and different things. And
your house had to just be just like aromatic as hell.
Dog, it was growing up, it was crazy. I used to hate it because like my grandma's old school and shit, so she doesn't like open the windows and stuff because she thinks people can always break in. So if she's like frying fish, it would just be like fishy as fuck, and she'd be burning incense. But then we had carpet, so in South Central, like for people that might live in South Central now or don't, like they know it's just like when it's hot, your house is blazing, especially if you don't have AC. And my grandma does not believe in AC. It's burning too much current, you know, so she just have a fucking fan on. It was just like, fuck, it's hot as fuck in here. Like, and when it was cold, oh my gosh.
Freezing.
Blizzard. Duh, and it's like growing up, like, you know, like, I don't know, like you get in her car, it's like, don't push my seat back too far, you're gonna break it. And it's like, my mom is like, she doesn't use AC and stuff. And like, you know, they're just like growing up, like they don't, you know, they don't have much. So they just like, mold their life to be like that. You know, my grandma not growing up in like with a refrigerator, electricity in Belize. So like she goes to the grocery store every day to go buy different things because that's just what she's used to, you know.
It's
so like if
point.
I'll go to like Food for Less at the corner, it's just like, oh, your grandma's not with you? I'm like, no, she's coming in right now. I just walked in first.
No, she's here.
But yeah, I just saw like how like their like, you know, society and what they grew up around molded them to be like, and that kind of like molded me a bit. But
so you had two very strong women figures in your life.
Yeah. My mom was like, she was more of like the Belizean like woman who lived in the United States and started becoming more of a United States lady. And my grandma's old school like Belize, you know. I I don't give a fuck. I'm not. Yeah, exactly. And when I was at home, I was like at Belize. I felt, even though I wasn't born and raised there, but if a kid is from Japan, if a kid's family is from Japan and they speak Japanese in his house and they cook Japanese food, and he lives on Wilshire, what do you think he is? He's gonna be like, shit, I'm Japanese. Like, I didn't even have to grow up there to even like know anything. You know? Yeah. My grandma is like reading a Belizean newspaper, the Amandala, like every morning, like.
Especially first generation families, like
especially
with like the grandmother,
especially man, especially, and they're all out here. Like my grandma's out here, her sister's out here, and all these people, and it's just like that's what I know. And like I said, the whole setup shop thing, man, like it's so powerful. Like I think that's what helped mold me a lot. Like today, and I'm happy for and blessed to have that like hustle in my blood. Yeah, you know what I mean. And hustle, not you got to be the fucking richest dude in the world, but just the fact of like making it work. Like if I say I'm gonna do something, I can just like start today and like figure out how to do it by myself, and absolutely ask like 10 people or need 10 people to go do something. Like my grandma and my mom set up shop.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah. What was school like for you growing up?
School, like elementary, was like a little weird.
Okay.
At first, it was fun. Like elementary, middle school was fun, but like, I think like.
Were you going to elementary school out in that area?
Yeah. I went to Bright Elementary. It's on 36th Street, so it was on like a block away from my house. It was on the same street, just on like the further block. So I would like walk there, and it was fun. They had a program called YS Care, and for those from LA. If you ever like played caroms before, you know what that is.
Of course, man.
And I used to be fucking crazy at caroms. Caroms and kickball were my two things that I would just like. I get my shine on.
What's caroms,
dude? I will slaughter you in caroms,
bro. I haven't played caroms in years, but I'm sure I'll murder you. But anyway, but like kickball, like when they would give me that perfect bouncy, you know what I mean? And my foot gets right under there. It's over the gate. Yeah, every time. And our yard wasn't big, so it's like over the gate every time. Whack. But yeah, elementary was cool. Like it only got like weird, like. And for me, I laugh about it now, but it only got weird when like they'll be like, "So, what are your favorite dishes for?" Yada yada, and there was a lot of like Hispanic kids at my school and stuff, so they'll have like enchilada. I don't
What was weird about that though?
Because like my family's from Belize, so like we have like milk cake, we have like dukkanu, we have garnacha, we have different things, and like I said, my grandma cooked a lot. Mm-hmm. My mom is just like over Belizean food. She's coming from Belize. She had Belizean food all her life. Now she's in the state eating Belize. So my mom would get off of work. She would try to take me at the time to like Taco Bell or Sizzlers or different things like that. But my grandma was like, no, that stuff is going to give you worms. That stuff going to, you know what I mean? Probably right. She was actually right.
I feel grandma right now. Yeah, like but I'm glad she was like, she threw the hex on Taco Bell at an early age.
But it's like, like when they would ask questions like those and I would respond and I'm like the only like Belizean kid at school, then it's just like, you eat what?
Yeah.
And I'm just like, milk cake. You put milk on cake. I'm like, yeah, milk.
Yeah.
And then like, and it's just like, that's when like things got weird. But it's like, for me, it was like, culture shock. But for me, it was like normal, you know what I mean? My mom's pulling up blasting reggae music, like Sizzla and different people like that. And like people are just looking like.
Shout out to Sizzla.
Shout out to Sizzla. My mom, like people are looking like, and it was definitely like a time period when I was just like, and I think that's what happened when my mom came to the U.S. from Belize. Like I've seen how my mom like kind of like, and so many different people, like they try to be so Americanized because they don't like, they don't appreciate where they come from so much because they come to the U.S. and it's just like they think they're so different and stuff. And growing up as a kid, like when my mom would come to my house or come to my middle school and stuff playing Israel Vibration or playing Ika Mouse or different things like that, I'd be like, you know what I mean?
What do you mean? Like,
I don't know. It's just like, there goes the kid that his mom plays reggae music loud and pull up, you know what I mean? Or like we would go to a Bob Marley day and I remember having like my like medallion on that I always wanted because like I would look at like these different reggae artists album covers that my mom had. She would like take me to Amoeba Music and different things, and she just loved roots reggae and all these artists. And I would see them wear their Clark Desert boots, and I see them wear their like medallion with like the African, like the red, gold, and green. It's like, man, I like, the style wise, I look up to that. I see like, like Gregory Isaac and how he's pose and different. I'm like, wow, like, you know, because this is what my mom's telling me, like, man, these are the dudes. So I'm growing up like, man, this is what I need to be like. I admire these people. And I would go to like my middle school with a medallion and just like, kids would be like, what the fuck is that? Like, are you African or some shit? I'm just like, nah. You know? And like right then is like when you start to like easily be like you don't appreciate your uniqueness.
Well, it's weird because it's like you're trying to fit in.
Yeah,
you were talking about that too. Like, I mean, you moved around a lot.
Yeah,
but you know, it's such a weird thing when you have to, for the sake of fitting in, kind of lose yourself. Of who you
lose
are.
yourself so much,
and it sucks that it happens at a young age. Of you know, you're so, as a kid, all you want to do is fit in. All you want to do is be like, and how that, you know, you're going home every day with this heavy Belizean influence, like from the culture to the food to the lifestyle.
Exactly.
But you're spending your days in a school that's not. So it's like this.
These kids are ruthless, dog. These kids are ruthless. And these kids say, like, I don't even know where they get it from, man. Like, where do you even find out? Do you even know what this means? Like, people are saying, I mean, shit that will rip you apart. Like, literally rip you apart. Like, it's kids will rip you apart.
Yeah.
If you're not prepared.
It's wild how kids start out, like, we as kids start out as, like, blank slates that just have the world ahead of them.
And you go to school and it's like,
this ruthless age in the early years of elementary where kids are just like, psycho bullies, bro.
Elementary was cool. I think middle school is where it got crazy.
Yeah.
Because then that's like when kids start like cussing.
Yeah.
On their own time, you know, like they use a different curse word like every sentence because they think it's cool. Like, but like elementary, when I grew up in elementary and stuff, like the kids I went to my elementary school stayed in the neighborhood, you know, so it was just all like local kids, even if they didn't grow up on my block. And like I would never go on the other block. So I never hung out with those other kids, even though we can see them from our block like that. We don't go on that block.
Really?
Why?
I mean, because everything's like gang affiliated.
Oh.
Like, I live on 36 and right across the street is like the 20s and those are Bloods and stuff. And it's like, I couldn't hang out with those kids and go over there, even though like my family at the time were like, I have some that were Bloods and different things. Like we wouldn't go on that side and play with them because you don't want to get like beat up. So you had to like stay on your side. So I would just like stay at like Denker Park or on my block and just like stay there with the local kids on my block. But I wouldn't like go off of, and my mom wouldn't allow me to go on like other blocks like at all.
Got it.
At all. Like my grandma, if she drives down my block or my mom and they don't see me, like it's a wrap. I'm getting my ass whipped.
Really?
Wild.
Because it's like, it's too.
It's that serious?
Yeah. Like around that time, like growing up like late 90s, early 2000s, like in LA, the gang stuff was very prominent. It was very like, it was like to the point where it's like you would get beat up if you weren't different color, like certain colors. But now it's like not even like an issue, you know what I mean? But like around that time growing up, but even then that was like the norm for me. Like I didn't even, you know, think twice about it. Just like, oh, it's just normal. Like I don't go there. Even though I can see these fucking kids right there. Yeah. They're riding a bike that I like too. I probably have a lot in common, but I've never connected with them because it due to like gang affiliation in different like neighborhoods and stuff. And our parents wouldn't allow us to go. Like,
did you have friends that did, like that you grew up with that eventually, you know, joined gangs or as they got older? No, or was it was really
almost
separate?
Everybody.
Oh, almost everybody.
Almost everybody.
Really?
Everybody.
So was it your parents, your grandma and your mom's influence that kept you away from that more than anything, or was it you too?
I think it was like both, and just like, believe it or not, like I didn't realize it until like now, but my mom was like, she didn't even know that she was like basically hypnotizing me as a kid because like I said, I grew up on roots reggae, so not dancehall. So like, you know, the Sizzlas, the Bushman, the different Israel Vibration, different people. I grew up on these people and they're talking about positive things and positive messages. And that whole time I'm riding in my mom's car, even though occasionally she would play like, you know, dance hall and different things. But, you know, while we're driving in the car, while we're in the house on Sunday, while she's cleaning up and my grandma's cooking different things, my subconscious mind are like soaking up like all this like wisdom and stuff. And I don't even notice it. You know what I mean? Like, it's like in here.
Wild.
But now I realize like, damn, like that played a big role. And I feel like, even though like growing up without a father figure in the house, like these different like male reggae artists and groups were actually like father figures to me daily.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't even realize it. You know, nobody did.
Wild.
But just for me, like learning,
to look back and connect that.
Yeah, learning about the subconscious mind, conscious mind, and all the shit, like how it doesn't sleep, and like, oh fuck, you know. So yeah, there were times when I hang out at parks and I see different friends like I grew up with get jumped into gangs, and I would like literally it happened right in front of me. But I don't know. I was just always kind of just like the cool one that everybody like. I wouldn't get like punked or anything. I like fucked with, but I was just like the different one.
Like period where it was like a question for you, or you didn't even like
1000%. Yeah.
I mean, it must be tough like as a kid.
1000. Yeah. Cause
how was that like at that age? Kind of looking back at it, cause like
I don't know, man. Like I think something in me just like knew that's just not what I wanted to do in my life, and even though I'm like I wasn't like a wuss or anything, I just didn't want to just be like fighting.
Yeah, you knew there was something off about it.
And my mom, the thing is, my mom and my grandma, they were so like upfront to me with everything. And my grandma like would tell me like my grandma and my mom would show me like as a fucking kid, dude, like show me. And to some people it might be like, what? Are they crazy? But it's like I got exposed to so much crazy shit as a kid. As a kid, you don't notice it's crazy, but now I'm thinking like, well, I got exposed to so many crazy things, but just real life. And due to those things is what caused me now and not to even care for that stuff because I already got exposed. It's not like where a parent has a child and they like, you know, keep them in a cage and they don't let them get out or listen to different music or know about anything. And when that kid gets older, they're going to fucking go to college and do coke every day. You know what I mean? It's like I was already seeing people do crack. I already knew what crack was. I already knew what prostitution was. My mom told me about it. I already knew what gangs were. I already knew about the different sets. I already knew how to throw up the gang signals. I knew what the gang signs meant that was graffitied on the wall.
Parents are worried about talking to their kids about sex, and you're over here knowing about prostitution.
My mom used to tell me, like, yo, like, if you want to smoke weed, let me know. I'll get it for you and roll it for you.
My mom did the exact same thing.
I don't even smoke weed now, but
bro,
I'm not against it.
I didn't start smoking weed until the end of high school. And I remember my mom also hypnotized the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
Right? She gave me a mind fuck because when I was in the 7th grade, right, my mom actually came home from work and was like, just randomly started up the convo. She's like, are kids starting to talk about marijuana and things like that at your school? And like me having the respect for my mom, I'm not going to say no, but I was like, yeah, all this. She's like, okay, that's this age, right? These things are around, right? I just want to, she literally was like this, I just want to let you know something, okay? You may be exposed to these things, just know this, and promise me this. Your first time, I don't care what it is, whether it's the marijuana or the ecstasy. She was listing off these drugs, right? She's like, your first time, I want you to promise me that if you want to try it, you try it with me. Tell me, I'll go get it, and then you can do it in the house. I want your first time, if you want to do this, to be with me. Dog, drugs were so uncool to me after that, dog. Oh I was like y'all over here smoking weed, like chilling, like, oh no, we're so rebellious. I'm like, bitch, if my mom was like down to do it with me, like y'all are phony as shit right now.
Even so though like the first time I smoked, it wasn't like with my mom, but like
it's wild though, because like for me, it became something not mischievous.
Yeah, instantly.
So like it wasn't one of those things of like, oh damn, we're rebelling as kids. I was dog, y'all over here like hiding and shit. Like if I want weed, I'll go call my mom. Like how cool is that? It was so uncool to me.
Yeah, I hear that. I wonder if more parents had those kind of talks with their kids, if that would be more
sure.
If that would be more the consensus.
Because I mean, like, think about it. Like, think about when you start thinking about like no father figure, right? One of the biggest, I feel like, impacts of not having a father in the house is that like man conversation. You know what I mean? The father being able to like talk to the son or the daughter even. You know what I mean? About things from a man's perspective. Because there's things that mothers can give you, but then fathers also have a different viewpoint. So you start seeing the world from these two lenses. You know what I mean?
1000%. I think though, like me not having that, I didn't realize like how not having that father figure actually like benefited me so much.
Yeah.
And most people would complain like, I didn't have a dad, yada yada. But it's like, for me, it actually was like benefited me so much because I was able to like fully be myself because I didn't have any like actual male to like help mold me. You know what I mean? Even though I like had like my grandma and my mom and women to like, you know, nurture me and care for me and different things. On the other part of like being a man and like my own personal style and stuff, I like created all that on my own from just like different things I soaked up and saw as like a youth, like growing up. And I'm like actually thankful for that because it's like I was cool with my, like I really did not have like a horrible like childhood. I didn't like I said, I just didn't realize how like interesting it was until I got out. But like I would never sit here and tell you like, man, it was so tough growing up in the hood, because it wasn't. Like we had fucking fun. We played outside.
It's wild how
for
so many people it's like that though, because like when you're young, you don't see the shit like that. Like when you're young, you don't have the stigma of like rich or poor. You know what I'm saying? I even feel like rich kids growing up don't like know that they're super entitled. It's just like, okay, it's summertime, we're going on our vacation to Connecticut. Like just for them, it's normal.
Yeah, it's normal.
You know what I mean?
I do feel you're very lucky though.
1000% super lucky.
Yeah, man. I think you're in a rare position having that influence. Obviously, you talked about it with your friends,
super,
who weren't probably as lucky
at all. But my mom, like, you know, like my mom and my grandma, it was always love. Like no matter what was going on, like I could have gotten a fight in my neighborhood, like down the street, but when I got home, it was love. I could have like, it could have been a shooting at the park or like could be any, you know what I mean? Anything. But when I go home, it's a little Belize, grandma, my mom, it's lit food.
Grandma's cooking.
You eat. You know what I mean? A whole fucking fish on the fucking plate.
Full one. You know what I mean? Yeah, because going to what you said, Noosh, is that, you know, it's the environment that's created for you.
Absolutely.
Whether that's, you know, for you it was your home environment.
And you just have to feel safe.
You could always come back to a safe place.
Exactly.
I don't know if it's so much about rich or poor or hood or gray
at all.
area. Like
that doesn't matter.
It's what you're, you know, who basically is in charge of your environment. Your parents or whoever's raising you, what they create for you, and you know, for them to in a big way, they protected you from so much.
Yeah.
So much. I think like, and I didn't even realize until now, but like, you know, I didn't have any like crazy trauma in the house or anything happen. Like I said, it was all love. And even when they were like, don't go here, don't go there, I would listen to them because my mom isn't like some geek off the street. My mom, like when she came from Belize and stuff, her friends and people she was hanging out with were in the hood. Yeah. So, you know, she
knows what's up.
She's been in drive-by shooting. She's been in cars where they were doing drive-by shooting. My mom has like seen all this stuff. So when she like would tell me certain stuff about like what not to do in the neighborhood, she's coming from like a street smart perspective, not just like mommy. And you know she's coming from like a real place. Sure. And my grandma is telling me too, because she would be outside watering the plants and see shit. You know? And it's like, they would just be raw with me. I mean, raw. Show me fucking jail like documentaries and like this is not fake. This is what they do. So if you want to go out here and like fool around and be like them, you're gonna be here. You see where they at? That's what you're gonna do.
Wild.
And I would just be like, fuck, like just no matter what. Like I've never been in handcuffs in my life. Yeah. And I grew up in South Central LA. Like you don't. I just feel like you don't have to use like, unless, you know, everybody has their issues and problems and shit. I can't, and everybody copes with things differently. But I just don't like really want to like use like my environment or my circumstances or this as like why I can't do what I want to in life or why I have to be a certain way. Like I can't say like, oh, I didn't have a dad in like my life or like that's why I'm in jail and that's why I'm in trouble. But like at the end of the day, we all can make our own decisions. We have to be responsible for that.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like I'm just, like I said, I'm happy and thankful that I had those women in my life, because if I had a dad and, you know, who knows, it could be arguing in the house, it could be different things. Yeah. That would probably like fuck me up as a kid, like being sensitive and all that shit would like fuck me up, but I didn't. Like I would never see my grandma and mom like be going at it like crazy. Even if they're pissed off, they just go in their room and not talk.
Yeah.
For like a day, and then they'll like talk later on because of me. You know what I mean? And I was their prized possession.
Again, again, just very, very lucky, man.
Blessed,
because, you know,
that
like, I mean, you see families growing up in the nicest of areas that
I see it.
Indoors, it's like it could be a fucking nightmare.
It's wild, bro. Because for me, like my parents used to fight all the time, but I started realizing that it was just because they couldn't communicate well, right? It wasn't that they didn't like each other, this, that, the other. It's just that as a couple, they were two tremendous parents, but horrible spouses, right? But even when they fought, and let's say they throw things or start yelling, like I was actually able to notice that my parents were throwing things at each other to miss. Like specifically, you know what I mean?
A lot of people don't realize that.
Yeah,
it's good that you have like a strong
and also
mind.
like every time, like you know, I moved around probably like 12 times as a kid, but every time my dad would leave the house, right, I'd have to stay with my mom and be the man of the house, right? But every single time, my dad would sit me down on the couch and say, "Look, your mom and I aren't getting along right now. It's not because of you. Know that, right? I'm sorry you're going through this. Know that we both love you. It's us." But they always establish that.
But that keeping it real right there.
Yeah.
And like communicating that
straight
to
up.
You, even though you probably didn't like seeing that as a kid.
Yeah.
But that like, it didn't give you time for your mind to wander and like think all these crazy things.
No.
Like he didn't even give you that.
No.
It's like as soon as it happened,
as a man, he was a man about it and was like, "I'm always here for you. I'm a phone call away. My apartment's right down the street. I'm not going to be here every day, but you know, if you need anything, let me know. And now that I'm gone, you're the man of the house and you take care of your mom." Right? So your dad's leaving, but he's saying, now it's your job, but I'm here still. You need anything from me, I'm here. So I feel like those open channels of communication between kids and parents is so important. Right? Whether both parents are in the house or not, like just the vulnerability of a parent. Because like, think about it, dog. Like when people have kids, our parents didn't know what the fuck was going on when they were having kids. Our friends that are having kids don't know what the fuck's going on when they have kids. Nobody knows, right?
knows.
But if you're able to just be open and be willing to make mistakes and all this, I feel like it just produces a better environment for the child or whoever's growing up in it, right? And that also shows, and this is a beautiful segue here, because that also shows the importance of both nature and nurture, right? The environment, but also the ability for those beings in the environment to really play a role into your development, right? Wherever it may be. And there's a beautiful part in your story, B, where we were talking about this earlier. I don't remember what grade it is, but your mom met some people that were very wealthy. And this kind of changed the course of your possibilities in these developing years, right?
That's definitely like a huge turning point. I realize now. That's why I'm like so blessed, because even though like I was into different things, like growing up as a kid, I was always like the outcast friend, you know, just a little different. Like he's kind of like he wear wallet chains, kind of. You know, he's listening to rap rock, skateboarding, and wearing Tech Deck shirts, you know. Like, but he's cool. I like him, respect, but. If I didn't have like that moment that we're about to talk about. What was that
moment?
So my mom used to work at like Learning Smith in the Beverly Center, and she was working there for like years. She was like a manager, like at that time. Good job. Yeah, manager store. Good job. You're doing big things. Yeah,
big
things. And like, since she was at the manager at the store, sometimes if she would pick me up from school early before she go to work, or like go on break and pick me up and then just have like 3 hours before she get off or whatever it may be. Or on the weekends even, they will allow me, since she was the manager, they will allow me to stand in front of the store and like help customers come in. And this is like the Beverly Center, like my local mall is like the Crenshaw Mall. Not even, actually, look, my local mall is a Sloss and Swap meet. So I would go to Sloss and Swap meet and get like lowrider cars and ices and a churro every weekend. That's what my mom would treat me. Churro, icy, if you're good, lowrider car, or, you know, just a Hot Wheel. But, yeah.
How old were you when you, like during this time when you started going to your mom's work at the Beverly Center?
I was probably in elementary still, man.
Cool.
Like elementary. So, yeah. But I was still like conscious of like what was going on. But I used to like the Beverly Center going there because like I remember my cousin used to work across the street at like the Beverly Connection.
Yep.
You know, like Beverly Center, like early 2000s, like that was, the mall was like the shit. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man.
And Beverly Connection wasn't really that cracking.
Really wasn't cracking, but Beverly Center, man, you see celebrities there, all type of shit. Yeah. But so she worked at the store called Learning Smith.
Okay.
And they used to play like all these crazy National Geographic like VHSs, and they sold them. It was basically a learning store, self-development store. They would show you like different like musicians and music conductor, like I don't remember his name. He was like a blind conductor, and he wrote like some of the most like beautiful
Bocelli.
Yeah, they would like I don't know his name, but they would play like different things like that. They had like different like globes and maps and like gadgets and like, you know, just so whatever like cool gadgets they'll have at the moment. They had me outside playing with it like in front of the store, and that will somehow like attract a kid to be like, mommy, and then they'll go in there and they'll buy stuff. But she obviously had like a lot of like loyal like weekly customers, and like I guess one of the and they were all wealthy. You know, if you're shopping at the Beverly Center like early 2000s, you get a little cheddar. You know, that's Beverly. You know what's going on, man. Beverly Center is like crazy, dog.
Yeah,
like, I used to love that shit.
Oh,
like,
Beverly Center was great, man.
It's butt now, but it used to be crazy.
Well, they're doing construction now.
Oh, so they're gonna turn it up.
Yeah, I used to work at the Banana Republic there.
Really? Whoa, you've been on swag like from day one.
No, but he applied for Abercrombie first, and they were kind of like, yeah.
You're not white enough. You're not white enough for Abercrombie. No,
rare items in there. But yeah, man. So I guess like these people are very wealthy, and they had offices at their house. And I guess they came up to my mom like, hey, we have office at our, we're looking for like a manager, like or like assistant manager, like just a worker. Would you be like down? I guess. And I think like from there, I guess my mom was working at like Learning Smith in the Beverly Center for so long that it's just like, all right, I don't know what the.
So this wealthy family like grew to build an attachment with your mom.
Yeah, because they were like her like weekly customers, because they would come there and buy things for their kids, you know, different learning books, different, you know, solar system like projects and things.
Cool.
So it was just a learning store, gadgets, and I guess that's why I'm into so many just like random like geeky things like that, like, you know, straight up. Because she would just like get them for me as a kid as like a job, like this is like on clearance, you know, I got this for you, and I would just like have these like random toys that and nobody on my block would know what the fuck that is. You know?
How did that move? How did that kind of affect you?
Well, my mom working at Learning?
No, your mom having that opportunity presented by that.
Oh, family. It was dope. So they had like offices in their house, and they stayed in Beverly Hills. Like at the time, their house was like maybe like 2 houses away from the Playboy Mansion. So they were right behind like the Beverly Hills hotel-ish. Right yeah. They were like big time.
Holmby Hills.
Yeah, they were big time. That's like no joke. Yeah, I didn't even like know what the fuck was going on. You know, I'm just like, oh, my mom got a job, and that was around the time I was about to start going to middle school. And that's when they were like, the lady, you know, the wife was so nice. For some reason, they just attracted to my mom and me so much. I really don't know why. Because they didn't have to, you know, they could have just gave a shit less about me, and they could just been like, you know, there's another lady working at my job. Yeah, I don't care about your kid.
Totally.
But they just attracted to me for some reason, and my mom so much, and they wanted me to go to like a private middle school in like Culver City and things, and I guess they didn't realize like me, like what I look like, you know, complexion and different things, and in the neighborhood I grew up in, like if these schools saw those addresses, they don't want you. Yeah. But for them, you know, they're kind of naive in that field, so they're like, oh, Beverly Hills, he's a nice kid, like, you know. But these people don't know me.
He's a nice kid. Go take him for an interview.
Take him for an interview.
So like, I remember that doesn't work like that.
Man, I remember going to like to interviews, and like when I'm about to go to middle school, like different charter schools and private schools and like Beverly Hills, and you know, to go to these schools, you need to have go there for like a few hours during the day and they want to see how you interact. You're like a rat in a lab or something. They're like taking notes on you and shit.
Jesus.
I was like the only black kid that was in there at the time. This is kind of, you know, when I fully started getting out of my comfort zone. I wasn't uncomfortable, but I mean just like getting out. And even when I was at my mom's job at Learning Smith, it would be occasionally kids that I would like play with and see all the time that were cool. It wasn't like a issue. Like she had so many different like cool like clients. But when I went to these schools, like they just didn't like me. It was just like, I remember going to one school, and I remember my mom like yelling on the phone like, what? He has ADD. What the fuck do you mean? My son doesn't fucking. And I didn't, you know, I'm in the car. I don't know what that means. But now I like understood like what all that shit meant, like why I didn't get into these schools. But yeah, I ended up getting into like a school called Emerson Middle School. My home school is Fauché in South Central. My mom didn't want me to go there at all. Yeah, she was not fucking having it. So her boss and her helped me go to Emerson Middle School. I think they used the boss's address, and you know at the time like address like that was a big set tripping. Like if you have this address, we're not letting you in the school, you know, because you don't belong here.
Yeah, it's a
thing.
huge
I don't know.
thing.
I don't know if they're big on that now, but at the time it was like, especially in LAUSD and different districts, they were not fucking with that. So we used my mom's boss's address, and I got into Emerson Middle School.
Perfect.
Beautiful. Got in a music program.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Lanny, man. I don't know if that dude's even fucking alive, man. My music teacher was fucking awesome, man. He was so old, so
what was that like going to this whole new environment?
Beautiful,
this new school in a new area.
Beautiful. I loved it. I sixth grade, I liked it, but then it started like being like just more kids from different neighborhoods coming in because they would get kicked out of these like other schools, and that's kind of when it started just becoming like kind of no different from my school in my neighborhood. Okay. You know, but after school, like my mom would pick me up, or they would have like one of the runners that worked for my mom's job come pick me up. So it'd always be like a random dude picking me up that I knew, you know, I didn't like not know him. I knew him because he worked at my mom's job, but it would always be like a different one picking me up. It would be like a guy named Juan or, you know, whoever. And they would pick me up, take me to go get something to eat, and then drop me off at the house at my mom's job. And most of the time I didn't do my homework, or I would just lie and say I did my homework, and I would get to run around the mansion. I would go downstairs, play pool.
That had to just be like sensory overload for you.
It was fun because I was already an only child, and even though I have friends on the block, like that doesn't mean like those kids would be able to play outside every day. Like I don't know their circumstances or like if they're in punishment, but
did you start to see a different different perspective on being in two extreme different neighborhoods?
I started
at the same time
when I would go in their treehouse and play on the trampoline, or go on their tennis court and play basketball by myself, and it's just like a fucking like I don't know, a bin full of every different balls you can think of, tennis balls, volley. It's just like anything you could think of. Every bike. They had Razor scooters. Razor scooters weren't even popping yet. I didn't see one kid on the street with a Razor scooter. Wow. And I was like riding this shit at their house, and I was like fucking blown away, dog. And it really didn't hit me until like now it fully hit me. But when at the time I just started noticing like why don't our neighborhood look like this? Why is there no trash on the ground over here? Why is there trash everywhere? Why is there green grass here? Why is like dead plants fucking everywhere? You know, that's kind of where you're just like, why is there graffiti on the wall here? Why? And that's when you kind of start questioning. Yeah. But like, you know, my mom would just be like, you know, that's the way it is. Or like, you know, because how can they enter that? Yeah. You know, they don't even fucking know like why it's like
that's
that.
Such a unique experience though. Like, I mean, that's a unique experience for anybody to, you know, I mean, be exposed to that super wealth. Mm-hmm. And what that lifestyle is like, 1,000%. And getting the benefits from it, going to a better school, seeing what you know, kind of a taste of a different privilege is like, and it's, I mean, you're I guess pretty lucky to do that, but
so blessed.
I'm just like thinking about, you know, as a kid, your brain is like developing and forming, and just how'd that shape your identity, you think?
It was interesting because, like, her kids were older than me, and she would go to the Beverly Center, to the Banana Republic, the Abercrombie and Fitch and different things, and buy them shitload of clothes.
Yeah, I mean, so much. I probably sold her a shitload of dresses.
1,000%. It's probably like,
what's up, Miss Wilson? I see you, baby girl. Yo, we're gonna get that in tan, extra large, next week. I got your shoes, girl. I'm ordering them from the Hollywood store.
Yo. Yeah, they had like a crazy big ass storage room, dog. Like they had multiple, you know, they didn't just have one house, you know, they had like a farm and ranch and different things too. But that was just like,
level of
that was just like the house at the time. But so, you know, they'll have the nanny go get the kids like shitload of clothes and all this stuff. And it'll be so much like, I mean, piles of Argyle sweaters, piles of like just everything, corduroy pants and stuff. And at the time when I got to middle school, we wore a uniform, but even though my mom would like take me to go, because I used to love Dickies. I really used to love Dickies because one, that was our uniform and like all the gang members, and I was like big in LA culture. Like khaki was big. Color. I just wanted that shit so bad. Like house slippers and khakis was just like a thing. But also,
do you have the belt that hang down?
Man, I would get like free clothes all the time
from them.
But they were never worn. They were just like boxes of clothes, and I would be going to middle school, Argyle sweaters and shit, and like different like boat topsider boat shoes and shit.
Yeah, you got those Sperry's.
And I used Sperry's on, and so I'll get an Argyle like socks to match my Argyle sweater, and I was just like so amped. And my grandma's like, son, you look good. Like, thank you, grandma. But when you go to school, what the fuck do you have on? It's just like
wild.
But you got to think the kids at my school, even though I went to Emerson Middle School, a good school, there were so many kids that got kicked out of bad schools and ended up going there. Mm-hmm. So it was like a mix. So, it was just like, yo, what the fuck do you got? Argyle sweater, playing basketball with boat shoes on. Right, like, what are you doing? And I'm just like, I'm just playing. Like, I wasn't getting like picked on and stuff, but like I said, it's so easy for you to, as a kid and even as an adult, to try to like, be what society wants you to be. Absolutely. And you don't even like realize that as a kid, like, and take advantage of your coolness and own it. You're just so busy like, damn, like I'm not trying to get like laughed at or something. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Did you ever hide the fact that, you were around so much wealth and got kind of all these benefits, or did you accept it at that early stage?
I didn't even like talk about it. I didn't even like, it wasn't even
a thing.
It wasn't even a thing as a kid. Like, I don't care. I just was super excited to go downstairs to the pool table, play pool, go in the garage where they have the little boxing thing and try to figure out how to do it, and then go play basketball and ride razor scooters around and jump on a trampoline. Like, I didn't give a like what? I don't. And I'm an only child, and I'm used to playing by myself in the backyard when my friends can't. So it's like I don't really even care. Like,
it's just like a bigger playground.
Yeah, but when I got into music though, and I ended up getting in the music program.
When was this?
I ended up getting like music program maybe like 7th grade or so.
Cool.
And I loved it. I ended up getting orchestra and senior orchestra and staying.
What'd you play?
I play all percussion. So I ended up staying like super late after school, and then that was around the time when Drumline dropped. Life changing for a kid in middle school.
First of all, like the drummers were not cool. Like they were not. Let's just
when Drumline dropped, they were.
But let's be very real. Like if you were watching a football game and you saw the little drummer come up and do the little snare popping.
Yeah.
And with his little like hat on,
straight
with
up,
vest shit.
Yeah,
like that's not cracking. You're not cool. You're a nerd, dude. You're a nerd.
Basically, I was
Drumline comes out.
You're the shit.
You're a fucking superstar.
Yeah, thank you, Nick Cannon. Was that Nick Cannon?
Yeah, that is Nick Cannon. Yeah.
Shout out to
and
Nick
so
Cannon.
we would go like we even have like practice and stuff because we'd be in like we were like so good that we'd be in parades at different high schools. We'd do like even did like the Martin Luther King parade a few times. Man, this is very sad, but I actually don't.
I low-key want to see you
like
on,
cameras and stuff wasn't
parade.
like a big like thing. Like I think like my mom and my grandma wasn't even like thinking like, oh, we have to capture every moment because they weren't reaching in their purse with their cell phone. It's just like, I have a Polaroid, I'll take it. If I don't, I came to your show. I wish I had.
We just had memories back then.
Straight up.
But yeah, man, it was awesome. Like lunchtime, we'll have like practice, and we'll even like play some of the Drumline songs like live at lunch. And people would just be amped. I'd be like, I thought I'm like fucking Nick Cannon.
Super cool Drumline thing.
Oh my god!
But yeah, it was fun, man. Like middle school was awesome, like for a bit, but like towards 8th grade is like when it started getting sour, and I was just like over it because like, the kids like started like not liking the kids too much. And
what was it about it?
I don't know. It's just like you just like get over it. Like I also like I wasn't like super good at like books and stuff like that, and like I started like struggling. And like if you don't know what like 10 times 35 is when you're like in 7th grade, they'll call you stupid. It's like, no, you're not smart. Yeah, I am. Like, what's 10 times? And it's like, I don't know exactly. You're stupid. Like, but people wouldn't tell me that. But it's just like I would have trouble like reading.
You start like a level of inferiority is.
I was good at music though. I was good. I was super good at music. I like learned this so fast. Like, but I just couldn't grasp like the reading. I couldn't grasp like the writing. But I was good at like the art,
creative.
I was good at creating like the art and stuff. And I think that's when I started like not being in love with it in like in middle school, because the kids, I was getting annoyed by them. I only wanted to hang out in the music room.
Yeah.
And then, you know, just like I just wasn't fully like super book smart. But the only thing that really kept me motivated was just like my music teacher, Mr. Laney, is just like, you know, if you don't do good, you're not gonna play in the concert. And I just wanted to play. So I would like I remember my mom's boss getting me tutors and stuff, trying to like figure. I just could not fucking get it. Dog.
Couldn't
like,
get it.
Wow.
I could not figure out how to like get this equation solved.
Yeah.
And I could not like read the story and like remember the book and like do good on the essay or final.
Yeah.
I just couldn't fucking get it. And like I think just at that point I was just like, man, like I can't get it. Like, I'm sorry, I just can't fucking do it. You know what I mean?
Nothing wrong with me. I just like,
I just can't do it. Like, and now I think that was like so tough for me. Even when
So how'd you get through that?
did that follow you into high school?
Yeah, it did, but I don't even know.
But so like, but going to what you said into high school, obviously you have to deal with that, and it's even at a more intense level.
High school, it was cool. Like, it kept me busy because like it was like new. I could wear like my own clothes. You know what I mean? I could get like fresh every day. You know what I mean? Like, I remember like walking down
the khakis, Argyle sweater.
I actually wasn't around like ninth grade. I ended up like during that summer I started getting into like streetwear and shit like that. Like, that's when the streetwear was like slowly popping off. And on the weekends, my mom was cool, so she was like, even though my mom wouldn't like drive far. When I was a kid, I thought it was fucking far. It was like not that far, but she tried her best to like take me different places.
Got it.
You know, and one of the places she would take me to on the weekends a lot was Pasadena, like old town Pasadena.
Old town, yeah.
And it was cool. They had this spot out there called Gray One, and Gray One was like a New York streetwear boutique, and they sold like all these different like clothes and shoes and different things from like different streetwear brands in New York. You know, they had this one chain I'll never forget. I still wanted just to have it because I wanted it as a kid.
For nostalgia's sake.
It was like a little chain of a shovel and it says gold digger or something. Even though I'm not a gold digger, but they just had like cool shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just like, man, this shit's tight. My mom, this is dope. And she used to love like Air Maxes at the time. And all that stuff. So she was just like, you know, her job was like pretty good, even though we like lived in the hood. Like, we weren't like dog struggling. We were okay. So the clothes weren't too empty. They'll have a bin where it's just like clearance, like $10. But that box, nobody's really on like streetwear like that crazy. Like when I was going into ninth grade, and this was like 2007, and so like when I went into ninth grade, it's like, whew, I'm wearing all these like cool clothes. I didn't even know they were like that cool until like I saw what other kids were wearing. I'm onto something here. I'm kind of onto something.
Hey there, guys. I'm kind of.
But first like day of school at my high school was a fucking rumble going on, like big ass fight.
Oh really?
And I'm seeing like dudes and girls making. I was like, damn, this is like cool. I'm here. Failed whole first fucking semester of high school, dog.
Wild,
horrible, dog.
Was high school kind of transformative for you? Like, were you starting to find? Did you continue pursuing music? Were you starting to find like?
No, I actually stopped doing music because I tried to get into Hamilton. They had a great like arts and music program there.
Yeah.
And I didn't get in due to like where I lived, my address. And I don't know why they didn't use my mom's boss's address or like what happened with that. Cause, you know, that's out of my control. I didn't work with paperwork and stuff, but I didn't get into Hamilton.
Got it.
And my homeschool was manual arts at the time, and my mom just was not, no, because my uncle went to manual arts, and you know it was just like all gang, and my mom would just not allow me to do that. So I had a cousin who was like way older than me. She actually like already graduated at the time, and she went to Westchester High School in LA, and she used to talk about like. She would always talk about it because she was just graduating at the time. So when I would go hang out with my family on the weekends and stuff, she would be like talking about it and telling my mom about it and stuff.
Yeah. Like,
you know, he should go to Westchester. This, and my mom was like, you know, I'll look into it. And I ended up going to Westchester High School. So that was definitely like a blessing to go there.
Yeah.
You know, 9th, 10th grade, I liked it. I think 11th, 12th, I was just over it.
Yeah. You hit the 8th grade, you started getting over it.
Yeah,
you hit
yeah.
like the 11th, 12th.
But it was just like, I don't know, man. Like my mom ended up like losing her job and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was just like being like 17, 18 or so. Mom don't have a job. She's like stressing. You're like living in the hood. You don't know. And at the time, like I didn't have a job. You know, I'm like 17 and shit. At the time, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. And that's kind of when it became like difficult a bit. But I mean, I still like made it through high school, even though I wasn't like super like book smart.
Yeah.
I somehow like.
What was your outlet?
I used to like just like creating things like on my off time. But I wish I would have done it more, man. I wish I would have like drawn more and did different things, even though I did a good amount. And I would like start a brand and like print up t-shirts and like sell them at school, and people thought I was just like doing like big things. Like I found out how to work Blogspot and hack it, and I only got I got my first computer like 10th, 9th grade. And I only got it because of my mom's old boss like gave my mom a computer to give to me.
Got it.
So I got my first computer 9th, 10th grade, and then my mom ended up getting a little like digital camera, like a super small Canon
old
one,
school,
and I would like use it. And I ended up having that like laptop, and that's kind of what like started my whole like. But on the laptop, it had Photoshop on there. I didn't know what it was, but I remember my mom going to all these like dance hall clubs and like reggae concerts, and they'll have these crazy flyers with like they have like a real lion on there like walking towards you, and like fire and like the like red, gold, and green flag, and like my favorite like reggae artist on there. I'm like, how did they make this? And she's like, oh, they make it on the computer. I'm like, shit, I got a computer here. Like, and at the time I didn't know, you know, at that time like 9th, 10th grade, I'm opening Photoshop. I don't know what the fuck's on there. But I remember this girl that worked at my mom's job a little bit before that. She did like graphics and stuff for them, like very basic things like flyers, invitations, and things. And I would see her do it, and I kind of just would like watch her, like sometimes just literally sit there and watch her. Like instead of just like going to jump around on the trampoline, I would sit there the whole time. Like I'm just going to just watch her and just talk to her and shit. I would just like soak up like what she was doing, even though when I got the computer I didn't know how to do it, but at least I saw her doing it.
You got inspired by it.
Yeah, I got inspired, and they had this thing called like Comic Life on the MacBook at the time, and I would like try to make like little like things with that, like graphics, and then I made like bullshit stickers on it. I asked my mom to give me sticker paper from her like one of her jobs at the time, and like I would like print out stickers and like post it everywhere at school. And I would do that because like kids.
Wait, hold up. What were the stickers like, man? What was on those stickers?
It was like logos I made, because like from her like taking me to grade 1 and stuff like that, I would like see all these like different shoes and dunks and stuff at the time. So I just ended up like being a sneakerhead, you know what I mean? That's the time when I thought I was a fucking sneakerhead, and I started this brand called In Kicks We Trust, and I was just like, I only made it In Kicks We Trust because like on a dollar bill it's just like in God. So I was just like, fuck it, I like shoes, like just do
straight up.
So I started making a logo, like posting everywhere, and I only started getting into like the posting shit everywhere because like when I would catch the bus home from middle school, like I would always see like gang dudes or just like different writers, like graffiti writers. They'll like give these like post office things from the post office, and they'll like draw on them, and they'll like post them everywhere. So I saw them doing that, and I was like, damn, I want to do that, but I don't want to like use I don't want like the post office logo on it. I just want mine. So when my mom gave me sticker paper, I made a whole bunch of them. Like I printed a whole fucking pack, like, 50 sheets. Yeah. And I had her print it at her job, and then I would cut them out and I'll post them everywhere. But the thing is, they weren't like water resistant. So I remember some of the places where I posted them, it would rain and like the ink would just like
he posts 300 that day and it rains that night.
But man, like me posting that, like kids like at my school started knowing like I was like doing like little like creating stuff. And for her job, they would like go to this spot to get like there was a spot on like on Venice, I think close to like Venice and San Vicente, I believe. I forgot the name of the t-shirt spot, but they would go there to get like t-shirts printed sometime. This is before her boss and them bought a fucking silk screen machine. By the way, I wish I would have known that when I was like a little older. Crazy. But she helped me, and I saved up, and I finally kind of learned how to make stuff in Photoshop, but I didn't know how to format. I didn't know any of that. I kind of designed it. and sent it to the girl that I used to watch, and she put it in like the PDF file. I didn't even know what the fucking PDF file was.
See, and this was like before YouTube videos could like
before, yeah. So I didn't learn any of that via tutorials. Just constant trial and error. Like I didn't even know how to, like, fuck, how do I get back to the lasso tool? Like, fuck, where was that tool again? In like hours, just trying to figure out how to get back to that tool. Like, it was crazy.
There's such a charm in that. Yeah. Because now, I mean, we live in such an age where YouTube is used for everything that you want to learn. There is a video on
a good steak. Watch YouTube.
Yeah. Everything. If you want to know how to do anything, you go to YouTube. And I mean, especially something like Photoshop that's so complex.
And I'm still learning every day how to. I'm not like a master of it. You know what I mean?
No, but it's like where now it's like if you think about how hard it is now with all these videos out there.
Yeah.
There's something special going back to doing that trial and error and spending those hours upon hours, like the very raw state of that. I always feel there's something special to that. It's not like you almost earn it.
Yeah.
There's a feeling of you worked hard for this. Anyone can go on YouTube and be like, look, I'm going to get the tracer and cut out his head and then put it on this body and blow it up.
And by the way, there's always like a 13-year-old from like Russia.
That's the worst. And you're like, you motherfucker. You motherfucker. You're like, really? I got to listen to you?
Accent.
And what you do here is
this is how you use
take the
After
mouse
Effects.
keyboard and you click
Never
the artillerizer.
But when, I don't know. I wish there was a way to measure it like people who, like you, who started off in the very raw part of it, doing that so much trial and error, to people that just instantly get the information. Mm-hmm. I wonder if there's like a relatable thing of.
It's just like, for instance, like, I don't know, you can think of a Jimi Hendrix, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Anybody like playing the guitar like upside down.
Yeah.
And like, how did he do that? And how did he become like one of the best players?
Yeah.
Because he just,
he
just figured it out on his own. Yeah. And then,
but it's also intention though.
Cause he didn't learn the right way, because there's really no way. The right way is your way.
Yeah. I mean, whether it's the right way or the wrong way, I just think like, if you really want it, you're going to get it. Like at that point, art and the crafts of things were such a, I guess, motivation for you, so new and refreshing to you that you were willing to do whatever it took to do it.
Whatever.
Right? Like, I hate the technical shit.
Yeah.
Like, you will not catch me on Photoshop, like, thugging it out. You know what I mean? That's why I love Joe to death, because Joe, ladies and gentlemen, Joe does the videos. Joe does the pictures. You know what I'm saying? But for me, like, I don't know, it's to each their own, but I feel like if you have the real drive to do something, like for me, it's people, yeah?
Yeah.
So I'll go out of my way, and I know I'll sound crazy as shit to some people when I'm asking them questions and being like, what are you passionate about, all this shit? Because for some people, it's just hard to digest that, and it's just so uncommon. But cats like yourselves, in different crafts, it's like, even though I may not enjoy it, what I do enjoy is watching you create it. Right?
I appreciate it, man. Yeah.
It's like watching you draw the homeless dude that you met, and like in those little pieces, I'm sitting there thinking like, how the fuck is he doing this?
I appreciate
it. Like, I'm literally about to take, as Inward Podcast, Joey, he put a picture up the other day. Ladies and gentlemen, give me a second while I go on my Instagram. Shout out to the digital world here. But, Joe, he drew this right here. This is the homeless dude he was talking about. Look at that.
You drew that. Yeah. And shout out to the person texting. You drew that.
Yeah.
Wild, right? But, like, it's
that is crazy, dude.
It's beautiful to see you wouldn't be able to draw that if creating wasn't a passion of yours, right? Because that's time, bro.
Yeah, I think like I'm only able to do like, it's like the whole Wes Montgomery like vibe. Like Wes Montgomery, like he's awesome, like jazz, like the best jazz guitarist ever to me, and like. His style is like something nobody ever seen before, and he was like playing with his thumb. He didn't use like a pick. He was just playing with his thumb, and he created his own style and ended up being like the best and the inventor of his own style of how to play. And he only did that because his circumstances and stuff shaped him to do that. Like, you know, I watched a like little documentary on him and like growing up in like his little like apartment with his family or whatever. He would like play a guitar, but when he would play, like it would be too loud even if the amp was on low, and the like, neighbors would complain. So he started like, you know, using his thumb and he would just play like that all the time. And then that's just how he played, or, you know, it's just like, just like doing it, like whatever worked for you. Like me, like I'm not like this crazy like graphic designer, by the way, and shit, but I know how to do that. And I didn't even know Illustrator existed. I didn't know what it was. And I didn't know until I did like a mixtape cover for like a hood dude that was like rapping at the time. And he was like, and
what was his rap name though?
Don't remember. I can't distribute that information.
Hey dog, it's me.
Yeah. But anyway, he asked me to make him a logo. He was like, yeah, man, I'm at the print shop. They're asking me for some goddamn vector file. You can send that through. And I was like,
vector file.
What's a vector file? I literally was like, what? I don't know what that is. Fucking, I Googled it. Like, I still didn't get it. I don't see, like, I have Photoshop. Like, what's the big deal?
Right.
And then I found out.
It was
like,
Illustrator.
It was Illustrator.
Yeah.
I couldn't grasp Illustrator. I spent so many years like trial and error trying to figure out how to work Photoshop already. Like I couldn't even, when I opened it, it just made me feel like I went back, like back to my free. So I just said, fuck it. And I have to figure out. And I ended up hacking like a Illustrator or whatever at the time. I don't know if it was like via LimeWire or I somehow figured out how to do it like torrent or something. I figured out something. And they had this auto trace thing where you can like make just like a silhouette or a black version of the logo and trace it and save it. And I didn't even have to do anything in like Illustrator. And still to this day, like I don't know. I do not know how to use Illustrator.
All I know how to use that, yeah.
I have the program, but I just like I don't know, like I just don't know how to use it. And it's like I've become this far of like going, it would be nice for me to learn how to obviously like learn it, but it's just like I've fucking done so much without it.
So let's keep going. Yeah, it is complicated, man.
It's super.
It's a different.
I do not. When I'm saying I do not know how to do it, the only thing I can do is open it and use a tracer. I don't even know how to like paint, and I don't know how to do anything. I tried for a bit and started learning, and I was just like, well, I probably made like 2 things off of it that I already made in Photoshop. I just tried to remake it.
Oh, right.
I'm just like, fuck it, you know, West Montgomery vibes, man.
Straight up.
When did the art really start taking off for you, and you saw like that you can really do this? You know, I think there's always a moment in people's lives where you get hooked to something, you know, and that something is more than just a hobby, or it's more than just a fun thing to do.
Gotcha.
But you actually go and say to yourself, this is what I want to be doing, and I want to start jumping on this path seriously.
When I think like probably like 11th grade or so, because I was already doing fun stuff and playing around in like 9th, 10th grade, but like serious, like 11th grade, I wanted to get like more serious about it, and only because I know I didn't want to go to college.
Why?
I just didn't want to go. I already didn't like high school. I hated high school. My mom knew how much I hated high school. And if you ever meet my mom today, she'll tell you I hate school. And not because I love learning. Like I learned,
just the school environment wasn't right.
The school environment, I just couldn't do it.
That
like,
academic structure.
The teachers there weren't teaching. They were like open book, page 24, or do questions 1 through 5.
Go to the end of the chapter.
Go to chapter. I'm not. How am I learning in that environment? I'm not learning anything.
In a systematic way.
How's anybody learning?
How's anybody learning that? And in all that stuff I learned, or I learned if I was awake, you know, I was fucking sleep all the time in class. I don't use any of it in my daily life. Like when I learned how to pay a bill, it wasn't from high school. It was from YouTube, probably. You know, just like everything. Like I wasn't learning anything. I didn't like it. And I was into learning. I was into doing different things. Like growing up, my mom would play National Geographic. She would play different sci-fi movies or different things.
The systematic way they're teaching.
I would love it, but it's just the way they were teaching me wasn't interesting to me. And I knew I didn't want to go to college. And at the time as well, you know, this is when I was just thinking like, man, it was kind of when I made a shift where I was just like, I kind of see why the dudes in my neighborhood were selling drugs and things, because my mom ended up losing her job. And I was like, I see why they drive that like Chevy, like why they have new shoes, why they have this, like, I see that, like, I want that now. Man, I think at that time my mind just like completely shifted, and I was doing stuff to get money. I wanted to do things to get money. I wanted the Chevy. I wanted all this stuff to get money because my mom didn't have a job. You know, I want things. I don't want to fucking struggle. You know what I mean? And I want to. I still want to have the life that her boss has. You know.
I mean, which is a tough thing to think about because you don't want to go to college, and that's almost like a prerequisite to, you know, when you go through the formal like way of doing things. You know, I think so much is programmed into people now the way jobs are and the way everything is and how competitive it is to make money and to get a job. Like college education is often required to even get in the door with that. So for you to not go there, I'm sure it created just a bigger fire for you to say like, look, if I don't go through this systematic way and this conventional way of education, I better the fuck figure it out over here.
Man, so I think the two things, it was like a few things that molded me, and it's weird how like I, at the time, even though like I, you know, it's like 17, probably 17. I remember us having like something in the auditorium, and one of like, I think he was like an assistant principal at the time, or a principal, I don't remember, but he was leaving the school and he said a speech like, I want you guys to go to college and go to school and get your education. I studied French for 4 years. I didn't use the French a day in my life, but I studied it. And I was just like, and then I look in the parking lot and see his car. And I'm not like judging off of material things, but I'm just like,
well, why not? Why not judge off?
Yeah. But I'm just like looking I'm looking in the parking lot, at my school parking lot in high school. I'm seeing what everybody's driving. Why? And I don't know, the janitor at the time, he could be living in a fucking sewer for all I know, but his car was cool. And everybody else had bullshit cars. I was basically interning / working under the table at this place called El Mercado at one point. It was like on Pico, like close to like the Roscoe's. It was this dude who like, he had a streetwear boutique. It had like a lot of different like clothing brands in there, man. Like just streetwear stuff. It was a really dope store. This guy was awesome to even like let me come in, and he knew that I was like good at Photoshop, because I went there and I just like begged him like, man, just let me please. He's just like, all right, like you can take pictures of the shit, Photoshop it out and put it on. Like, I told him I know how to work Photoshop. And even though at the time probably my cropping and shit was crappy, but I did it. I was there every day. And then he started giving me like money under the table. But I remember, I think he got married or something, and his wife like just graduated, like, I don't know, some crazy shit like law school or something. You know, this cat is older, man. He has like a house and stuff. He has a store. I remember him saying, like, talking to me like, man, we would just like talk. He would like listen. At the time, he would listen to like drum and bass music. I didn't even really like fully know what that was, but he was listening to all that shit. And now I do, big ups. But I remember him saying like, my wife can't get a job, man. She can't figure it out. She's like applying in and out. And I'm just like, I thought she went. I'm thinking about. I'm obviously not saying this to him, but it just made me like look at things and like, we are not living in 1999 anymore.
True.
You don't have to go about things. And when I hear about all these greats, and when I see my grandma and I see these reggae artists that are so wise that I grew up listening to, Gregory Isaacs and stuff, these men and these people don't even have a fucking elementary education. My grandma, I don't even know if she went to elementary, I'll be honest with you. My grandma grew up poor, and they're surviving.
Yeah.
Shoot, my grandma know I pay bills. She's not killing people. She's nice, kind, genuine. Shit. Why can't I just like be like my grandma and just do? I just knew I wanted to just do art every day. But still at the time, like since my mom like ended up like not having her job anymore, it's still like a battle between like, fuck, I want to get this money, but you know, I still want to do art. But then I got my mom like, what are you doing? Like, what are you gonna do? And like,
how was that for you?
Yeah,
it was a difficult time because like I had to really stand my ground. Like, you know, like even though I would bullshit in class and bullshit to the point where, I mean, like fall asleep and not do anything, I was up late at home, like trying to like make designs for like my clothing line that I wanted to do, because when I was interning at like El Mercado and working under the table and shooting these dudes stuff and different brand stuff, and these dudes that would come into the store, they get their stuff in the store. I'm like, man, I can make this, man. Like I'm making this on my computer right now. I just don't have the money to like get it like mass produced, you know what I mean? But I'm making these same dope designs, like these logos, you know, I don't know, they'll flip a McDonald's logo and make it say like make money, I don't know. You know how the shit was like around that time. And I'm like, bro, I'm flipping these fucking same logos doing this shit, like, and it got to the point where like I was telling the dude who owned the brand like El Mercado, because he had like a few t-shirts printed up and a few hats, and at the time he would give it to me, and other brands that come in the store would like occasionally give me teas and stuff, and I would just like go on like Facebook and like, you know, I mean MySpace at the time, like shout out, you know, like
the plug,
giving me shit, like, you know, thank you for having me, or thank you for, you know what I mean. But I was just trying to like create my own little thing, man. And I was just like, man, like let me design some stuff. Like I got ideas, and I remember like putting together this whole fucking like I ended up getting this notebook, and it had like, you know, the like clear laminated things that you put the files in there, and I printed up all these designs. I mean, I had the t-shirt names, I had the like everything.
So you're doing like line sheets?
I had the line sheet, full line sheet. I'm in like 10th grade, dog, full line sheet, and there were dope designs, and I showed it to him. He was like, man, these are dope, but like right now I just can't, like. I was like, you know, at the time I'm a kid, I don't even know like how business works and shit. But
sure.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get my designs off. He's just like, nah, like he can't even do it. What I didn't understand was like he really believed in me and liked me a lot. That's why I was the only kid that was there. But he was at the time, like I didn't realize like those dudes who have stores on these like different streets in LA, La Brea, I thought they were like doing it big. Damn, they have a store. I didn't even think like, damn, these dudes are barely paying rent this month.
Yeah.
And he ended up losing his store. Mm-hmm. And I remember like, fuck, like, but I didn't know that, you know what I mean? And I think that's when it made me be like, damn, like this art shit, like, can I really do this? You know what I mean?
How is that for you though?
It was weird, but we ended up moving in Westchester, and I would ride my bike. At the time I was like heavy into electro music, heavy into like dub music, like, you know, like UK dub, like jungle music,
just grimy shit.
Yeah, just grimy shit, because like I couldn't, like, I was still listening to like trap shit and shit that was popping. I was like big into like Wiz Khalifa, like Prince of the City, for the City 2, like Currency, different things like that. But like when I was on my fixie, I couldn't ride to that. So I was just, you know, I needed something to keep me going. You know, you can't stop pedaling. So I would just ride. And since, you know, Westchester, Ladera, Inglewood is like close to like Dockweiler Beach. If you ride the trail, that takes you to like El Segundo Beach, Manhattan Beach, you know. So I would just fucking ride, dog. Like, and I would just either be by myself or like a local homie that went to my high school that would ride with me, and we just ride, man. And we ended up walking like in Manhattan Beach in the area, and they had a shoe store. And this dude was in there. It's a dope shoe store. It's like right by Skechers. I forgot the name of it. It'll come to me eventually, but it was right across the street from like Skechers in Manhattan Beach. And this store was 5 times crazier than the dude that had it on Venice and on Pico or whatever. And I was just like, damn, this dude got the money though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I just told him like, man, I do art. I like creating. She was like, dope, man, dope. Didn't give a fuck. Guess what? Next day, there again. What's up, man? He's like, dope. Didn't say nothing. Went there again when I was able to, like on the weekend by myself. Dope. Didn't say nothing. Fucking went there again. Like, yeah, fucking do designs. All right, help me out.
Wow. So
and I help him out. I totally forgot about this. This is fucking crazy. At the time, I had a crappy ass camera that my mom helped me get from like Target.
Okay.
Crappy ass camera, dog. It was like so crap. But I wanted the like big camera. I didn't even know what the big camera was, because I didn't have anybody to like tell me or like teach me what this shit was.
Yeah.
Like, my mom doesn't know about this stuff. Like my mom's on work. She doesn't like, can't even think about this.
Yeah.
My grandma, Belizean, Judge Judy, like she doesn't like, she just cares about the rock winning, and like, and she asked me, you want to play Trouble in Moncala? And like, nah, girl, I'm trying to like, all right, don't talk to me, because I'm trying to beat you in Trouble or Moncala. You're gonna play shoot somebody. I don't fucking want to play right now, girl. I'm trying to figure this out, you know. So I went to the dude, man. And I would just like help there, basically intern. He liked me for some reason. I don't even know. He would let me stay there late. He would talk to me. I was telling him, like, man, I want to learn how to surf and stuff. Like, I see these dudes out there. And I only wanted to do that because when I was a kid, I would watch, like, my favorite movie was, like, Johnny Tsunami. And I would, like, see him. And I was just like, man, I'm trying to fucking surf. Man.
Nice.
I'm trying to be crazy out here. So he gave me a fucking, he gave me, like, the wetsuit, like, top or just a shirt part.
Yeah.
I still didn't end up going surf. But he gave it to me. Like, this is how much this guy liked me. And I would shoot stuff for him because I told him I knew how to shoot. But the dude at the on Pico at the boutique, he had like lighting and stuff there, and I didn't have lighting, and I obviously didn't have money. I knew my mom, her situation, so she didn't really have money, so I didn't ask. And we had a lamp in the living room that wasn't working. It was working, but nobody used it. And I ended up like, my mom went to Target one day, and I got this like, you know, the foam boards that you use to make a project, like the ones that you open.
Yeah.
And I cut it open and I duct taped it and I put foil inside, and then I put like I don't even know where I got this like sheet from, but it was like basically a diffuser. I got it because I was kind of working PA on set sometimes.
Okay.
People. I'll tell you how that happened. That's all necessary. But I basically stole like diffuser sheets. and
you knew they were necessary. You're like, I need these though.
Because I saw what they were doing with them, with the lighting, how they would put it on the thing. So I was like, because I remember the dude on Pico at the boutique had that.
Okay.
But he had like a full setup, like strobe and shit, but I didn't know that. So I just stole it on like, and they didn't also. So I took it, I hid it somewhere, and then when it's time for me to leave, I grabbed it and like dipped. I built the light box out of like the fucking foam thing. And basically, like when you take the light bulb off the lamp, it like hangs over like this by the fucking cord.
Right.
Yeah.
Taped the light box that I made to the cord, and the way it would stay up is if I pulled it and I tied the string at the bottom, it would like stay up.
Right.
Dog, I pull up to this dude's shop with this shit.
You straight ghetto rigged
Let me
it.
shoot it. He let me shoot it. I did it.
That's
And
incredible.
he just lets you shoot it.
He let me shoot it, and he knew that it fucking sucked at the time, like, because the lighting, the reason it didn't suck, like the Photoshop was good. What was wrong was like all of the other shoes that he had lined up on, because it was all white background. All the shoes that he had set up, it was all like fluorescent color type lights. The light bulb that we had at the house was like a yellow one. And I didn't know that. So I stayed up there like late as fuck all day shooting all these shoes and fucked up. Had to redo them all. And I didn't know, but it was like, that was like trial and error, trial and error, just learning about. And I thought I did a light box. I thought I was cool, but little did I know I was like, I was doing it incorrectly. I made it,
but again, I think it's something to say about being resourceful.
Yeah, and I got that whole like set up shop thing from my like grandma, my mom, like just like figuring it out. Like, even if you don't know, figure it out. You might fucking invent some shit. I probably could have invented some shit if I would have kept going with the fucking phone thing. You know what I mean?
Well, I think that's a big part of it, though. I think figuring it out is underrated, dude.
Super underrated.
Very underrated.
There's learning stuff, but becoming great at something is about doing all the shit that you can't learn. Yeah. That just pops up and you have to figure it out.
But that's what I feel like even now as like a young adult and learning and stuff. And now since I have this whole like follow through thing going on in my mind that I started now, is like, if I say something to myself 3 times, I want to do something, I have to do it. Even if I don't know how I'm going to do it, if it's going to be good, even if it doesn't come out good, I have to do it. And
so if it comes up the third time,
in fact, it comes up, I have to follow through. Like if I'm like, even like the homeless guy I drew, like I'd be in the car with my girl or something, or I'd be like driving by myself, or I'd pass him and I'd be like, man, I want to like, this dude seems just interesting. You know what I mean? He's like building like art installation. He built a fucking spaceship out of carts and like bumpers that fell off because he's like posts right on the 10 freeway in Crenshaw. And like whoever gets in a car wreck, the pieces that's there, he would take it like and make spaceships. And at night it would light up and like fucking the propellers would spin and shit. And I would see this dude, but what really attracted me to him was like he wrote all these like self-development things, like trust yourself, follow your creative mind, build your ideas, don't be so quick to work for people you have with it. It's like different things. And this is a homeless dude. Like this is like tripping me out. He obviously is wise and knows something, whether if he's homeless or not. And that third time, I was like, I got to go say something to him. I was like, nah. And I was like, nope. Sure. Pulled it around and went to go see him. Wow. And from that's how that came. But that whole follow through thing is like, we stop ourselves so much from like going after things we want to, because you know how the mind works, man. We have this battle between evil and good with ourselves. Like, you know, it could be, for instance, like you like a girl or whatever, and you see her and you're like, man, I want to say hi to her. Oh, I'm stupid, man. She don't care about me. I mean, look at my outfit. I mean, I do have a pimple today. I mean, she doesn't fucking care. You know, and it's just like, all that, shut the fuck up, just go. And it's like in that, what I've noticed in that moment of just go, like so much crazy shit has happened.
Yes.
For me. And I mean, you know, my current girlfriend at the time, I met her because of just that go moment. I could easily be like, nah. But I was just like, go. And something in me was just like, and you know, like I've got jobs because of that, just like, say what's up. Yeah. Like, but it's so easy for us to be like, man. And like I said, even if the goal is not to just always gain something, like as far as like, you know,
I think pursue or attempt.
Yeah, it's just like the fact that you just kind of just like following through sometimes for yourself. And I feel like through that, you start to get in tune more with yourself and the universe, and just like, it's okay. Like if my thing is I'm learning, like it's okay if I don't know it's okay if I don't know what's going to happen a month from now. It's okay if I don't know where I'm going to be next year, but that's not my job to know.
That's an incredible resolve to have though, because imagine like, you know, we keep hearing, you know, I think a lot of these success stories, outside of somebody just like really believing and dedicating, whether their path went linear or left, right, diagonal, curved out, this, that, the other, one of the biggest things that gets people to where they ultimately end up going is the resilience and ability to continue making choices, right? Wherever they lead you making choices, those decisions, and like one decision led to a chance encounter, which led to something else. Like, I'm just thinking about the magnitude of what you said there, because think just in our lives, right? Like you with your girl at that moment, had in your gut been like, man, like I don't even know, like what if she didn't even fuck with me, or like I don't even.
Yeah, I didn't even think. Like, I didn't even think, and you know, I was like when I met her, I was living with my mom. You know what I mean? Had a fucking. I think the iPhone 6 probably dropped it. I had an iPhone 4. Like, I didn't even care. I'm just like fucking like.
Do you think that people stop themselves from doing that pursuit, that initial follow through, because of the fear of failure?
For sure.
I think more than anything, like we block ourselves. Yeah. And people are like, man, I have haters and I have different things, and which is like, you know, cool. Like people can hate on you and different things. Like one of my favorite speaker, E.T., the same, like he would like yell at you, like they're not hating on you, they don't care about you. Like, you know, but in reality is like when you think about it, it's like we're so quick to be like, and even though if we do have people that kind of like hate on us or whatever, like that's cool, but they can't like stop you. No, they can't stop you. They can't stop that brain. They can't stop that like, heart. Look, you know what I mean?
Even me, like I used to be really shy with chickies and whatnot, but like now I've gotten to a point where even if I just want to tell you you're pretty, right? Whether I'm at a club or whether we're walking down Melrose, I'll run up and just say, look, you look gorgeous, or that shirt is phenomenal, right? Not expecting like, yeah, shorty, so what's your number after that, right? If I'm really on that level of like, look, I really like this girl. It's been a couple times I've seen her. I'm just going to go say what's up. Now I'll go say it, because even if I look like a retard, right, that way you'll know that you tried it.
I think a lot of times, but like what I'm learning in just like, you know, the times we're living in, we live in interesting times, man. There's a lot of great, incredible, phenomenal things that are going on, but there's also like bad things going on, and a lot of things crumbling right now. And what I'm noticing is everybody's about self. And it's like, I'm not gonna do anything if I don't get anything out of it. I'm not gonna give this, you know, and I'm not, you know, I'm from South Central LA. I know, like, you're not supposed to give every homeless fucking person you see money. It's not always about money, but like, for instance, like I drew a picture of a homeless man, spent some time with him, chilled with him. I bought him Chipotle because I felt like that's what I wanted to do. I didn't do it because I'm like, oh, he's homeless, he doesn't have food. No, I didn't do that because of that. I did because it's like, yo, I'm about to go to Chipotle. You ever had Chipotle? No, what's that? Like guacamole? Oh, I love avocado, you know. But it's like, most people like I didn't do that because like I wanted to gain something. Like I didn't get any money off of that, And my goal wasn't like to like put that out, whether like a lot of people saw it or whether nobody saw it, whether 20 likes, whether 1 million likes. Like I didn't put that out so people can be like, oh, B Wade is like, he's a nice guy, he's really helping. No, like I'm doing that because like if somebody sees me do that, they'd be like, damn, like maybe I do need to like talk to the kid that I see at the bus stop every day and just say what's up, because I'm noticing a lot of people won't do stuff if they're not gaining anything from it. So it's like if I'm not about to get this check, I'm not about to help you out. If I'm not about to get promotion for giving out like 1 million turkeys out for Thanksgiving, I'm not gonna do it. And it's just like it causes this whole self thing, and we see it every day. We walk past each other, don't say what's up. I'm sure you walk past a man in the elevator, and for dudes, like if I walk past and you don't give me a head nod, I'm just like, yo, for real, dog? You know what I'm talking? It's like a dude thing. It's a dude thing. You know? For real. That dude is just like
even the
And for a woman, it could just be like a fake smile. It's probably not even a real smile. But for dudes, it's like that head nod. Like, we don't even give each other that. We don't. Hey, man. You know, like even I have neighbors now that I've seen. Because I'm saying it now, and this is the 3rd time I've said it. I said it once. I remember my girl mentioned it to me, and I'm saying it now. So when I get home and I see them again, I have to do it. But my neighbors, they stand out like in front of their door and smoke cigarettes every day. I walk past them. They don't say anything to me. They just look at me.
And you don't say anything.
I don't say anything to them either. So it's like that simple. Like, hey man, what's good? How are you? Yeah. Been here for, what do you do? Or, like that simple as that can just like, who knows? We could listen to the same fucking music.
It's so weird. Why do we like?
But we do that.
Here's the thing. Like, what's crazy about this? There's nothing to fear in that scenario. And
we're not going to lose. We're not losing anything.
But even in this scenario of talking to your neighbors, it's not like you're talking to a gorgeous woman that your fear of getting rejected. Like this is simply people that live next to you. And all you're gonna do is say hi.
In the same way how I'm like, why are these dudes so weird? They never say anything to me, but I have to think like, damn, I've never said anything to them either. So I have to take responsibility at least. And the least I can do is play my part. If I talk to them, which we'll find out when I do it, I'll probably text you guys and let you know what happened. When I say what's up to them, if they're acting funky and weird, then that's cool.
Oh well, good.
Good for you. But I'm still gonna walk around.
And most likely they're not.
Most likely they're not. Exactly.
And to your point of I think when you say people aren't going to do anything without getting something in return. So much of that something in return, a lot of it's fucking bullshit because you just don't know what you're gonna get if you actually do that.
And
the
universe works crazy, man.
It's all in your head.
Everything is connected, though.
Like a simple hello, there's nothing guaranteed that comes from that.
Yeah.
But all you're doing is like you're just swinging the bat as many times as possible, and it's not even for a selfish reason, but just like Dub said this on the last episode. And he was just like, live more, like cry more, like smile more. I think that is part of it. That's part of the bigger picture. It's like the more you do, the more you interact, the more you
experience,
squeeze the juice out of every fucking moment here. As cliche or corny as that sounds, it's like there really isn't anything to fucking fear.
But it's the simple things, man. It's like it starts with the small
simple things.
Shout out to Lorenzo Diggins.
Yeah, shout out to Lorenzo.
It is the simple things, my brother.
Big ups, Lorenzo. Yeah. Man. Shout out simple things. Check that out.
Book being right there.
Shout out Lorenzo.
That book is epic.
But it's the truth, man. It's the simple things. It's like you drop one little pebble in a calm pond or calm like lake. That's just gonna ripple all the way to the fucking end. It might not be a fucking tsunami, but it's gonna have some effect. And like that's what I'm learning, man. Like especially like I feel like my generation right now, like nobody even cares. Nobody's even thinking about that shit right now. They're trying to think of like how are we gonna get more followers? How are we gonna
but there's no barrier to entry anymore. So right now it's a fucking wild west again, but in this digital landscape, and everybody has a shot.
Everybody has a shot.
There's so much noise now.
It's like we just have to like, man, like tune out of all that shit and like go more within ourselves. And like it's cool to talk to one another, man. And like, and I'm not like the most social dude because I'm just an introverted person. I like to talk to people. I'm not shy. I don't mind talking to people. I go for vibes. And sometimes I talk to people. I just feel like this is not what I need to be doing right now. It's not good for my energy. I feel it. You know what I mean? I'm doing this because it feels good. I don't feel anything but love. Yeah. When I'm talking to you guys, it's genuine. When I walk in the door, it's B, what's good? Yeah, we're talking about different things. It's love. You know, I'm cool with that. But like, even when we're out on the street, like, you know, helping a lady out, or like somebody drops something, we easily like walk past. If somebody drops something, we know like that's their cell phone. Some people might be like, shh, free phone, I'm about to charge. And it's just like, man,
all the time.
Like, if you find that phone, it's just like, man, let me see who this belongs to. Let me get it back to him.
Straight
and it's just
up.
like I said, the universe works in mysterious ways. And little do you know, everything is fucking connected, dog. And it's like, you do this, it's going to be connected to something else. It could be something small, it could be medium, it could be great, it's going to be something. And we just have to think of that more, man. Like, everything is connected. And do good, man. We can just be a little better, man. It's cool, like, to be more heartfelt. You're not like a sissy or a punk if you have feelings. You know what I mean? We're not robots.
Yeah,
exactly.
I mean, there's no
artificial intelligence.
There's no downside.
It's no downside. Like, it's nothing wrong with telling somebody I love you.
Yeah,
straight up.
You're not gonna lose anything. In fact, little do you know, they probably love you just as much.
But think of the crazy thing about this, right? And I bring this up because recently, an acquaintance of mine, who's like a friend in the standpoint of like, if we saw each other, it's a big bear hug is what it do. This kid was a college athlete, and he's really close with my best friends. And he was a college tight end, full scholarship to Stanford, played in the league, all that. He's like 27 years old right now, right? Suffered a brain aneurysm. Like 2 weeks ago was with the homies. Suffered a brain aneurysm last week. Went through 2 strokes. Will most likely never be the same.
Oh my God.
Right? I met up with my boy. I was at Doheny Room the other night, and I met up with my boy. Like, they were blasting me to try and get in. Saw them. Then I got them in. Then I saw one of my boys like tearing up. He just was different. I was like, "What's wrong with you, bro? Why are you so serious right now?" And I saw him about to start bawling. Jeez. So I took him outside. I was like, "Look, bro, just let it out. What's going on? What's going on?" And he started crying. He was like, "Bro, our friend, he's in the hospital. I don't know. He'll never be the same. Like, I don't know what's going on, this, that, and the other." He's just so broken about it. And I was like, and he was like apologizing. I was like, "No, bro, let it out." And the point that I'm trying to make here is like, so many people, when something happens already, make such an impassioned response, and we'll put Facebook posts up, and we'll put all these pictures like, "Loved you, bro." Like, you'll never know what the that one laugh.
Pray for him, but are you really praying for him?
but the bigger thing is like, to your point, why not just say this type of, like, why not say everything that you feel in certain instances to your friends when you feel them?
Yeah,
right?
Instead of waiting.
Why not just be like, I may be thinking about you as I'm driving, and I may sound like a cornball, like thinking about it, but I could literally be like, "B, I love you to death. I saw something that reminded me of you. I remember when you told me this story."
That too. That's something simple, because we see shit on a daily that makes us think of.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And it's cool to like. I understand, you know, different people you might not stay in contact with. That's understandable. But if you do stay in contact with them, and then you are kind of cool with them, like, man, hit them up, man. It's all. I really just feel like it's all love, and
I hit one of my boys up because a song came on fucking the radio that like reminded me of when his girlfriend was screaming at him in the car, and I had always told him she's a crazy chickie, but like he was so in love at that point, all this. But the song came on, and I hadn't spoken to him in like 3 years. And I literally texted him like, "Shout out to your crazy bitch girlfriend. This song just came on, and every time I hear this song, I'm gonna think of you. I love you. I hope everything's well with you." Right? And then he was like, "Whoa, haven't talked to you in a while. We just caught up a little bit and it's done." Like, we don't need to catch up every day on small talk. Like, "Yo, what's up?" People think they're so like,
right.
If I say what's up to you, I'm gonna have to like talk to you every day.
I think why people don't do that though, and a lot of it has to play with social media, because like you said, like I said, social media is amazing. The internet, the information age is amazing. So much information out there. It's so much information that we pass up good information. Mm-hmm. You know, it's very interesting. But since for instance, we can follow a cousin or a loved one or a best friend or whatever, auntie, whatever, we follow them on Instagram or, you know, Twitter, whatever medium we follow them.
Yeah.
and you see what they're up to daily. So in your mind, you're already catching up with them, but you actually don't have contact with them. You actually don't hit them up. You might like a picture or like put an emoji or comment or something, but you actually not. It's no like actual call.
I know.
Like you actually don't pick up and go. It's still text, even as far as it will go. And now like nobody wants to fully commit to like the conversation because we want fast.
Straight up.
We want our food fast. We want this fast. So it's like cool. Like I don't want to talk to this person. Now I'm gonna probably be on the phone with them for an hour. So I'm gonna just say what's up, and then I might not reply because I just don't feel like talking. Which is cool. I understand people got this shit going on, but it's causing this like weird, socially awkward, not talking, not because I'm really not in touch with so many people, but or it could be somebody I follow and it's just I feel like I'm in touch with them because I see what they're up to every day. But do I communicate with them? No. Should I? Yeah. And I think that's what's going on with all of us. Like,
Bro, I got homies that are like out here, when they're texting a girl, and I'm not going to name any names. Don't be scared because I know you're going to hear this podcast, B. But literally texting girls and being like, yeah, bro, so I put the read receipt on and she hit me with the text and I hit her with the read receipt, no reply. Ha! What's up? But like for girls in this age, it's like, oh my God, he didn't reply to me. And for us, we start like putting these things together of like, all right, instead of the I'm not going to call you for 2 days, like now we've taken the don't call 2 days and then hit the girl up if you get the number to like the text form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
But man, pull up on them. Ask where you at.
Straight up.
Say what's going on, sweetie pie.
Pull up.
Say what's going on. See what they're up to. Give them a hug. So I just want to see.
Straight up.
They'll probably fucking faint because dudes don't do that. Yeah. People don't do that.
Bro, I literally wrote a handwritten note the other day. Wrote the handwritten note and sent it to this girlie because like I saw her after like ages and I was just like, yo, I literally saw her and then she disappeared, right? This was at actually David's show, a Klangstoff show. Okay. And I saw this girl, she's this like little bundle of fucking brilliance and bubbly energy and like literally like I look at her and I just smile, right? She just brings like such good energy to me. And I looked over, I hugged her, I hadn't seen her in forever. And then as it was ending, I was like looking for her because I was like, I'm just going to go tell her she's like one of the most amazing people on the planet Earth. And didn't see her, didn't find her. I'm over here looking, I'm lit as shit, just looking around. Then she pops up behind me and I just like grabbed her, bear hugged her. And I'm just spewing it. I was like, look, I thought I lost you, but look, I just want to tell you you're the most beautiful. Like you're just bubbly. Just keep smiling because you're making the world a better place type shit. Right? And she was kind of like, oh, like it's a little off-putting when somebody's throwing it at you. But I was like, you just need to know that your energy is lit. Like, who knows? Who cares if I look like a retard or whatever? I want to express this to you, and you're going to be told that. I don't care how I look.
My thing is we need to do that with, like, everybody.
Yeah.
And my thing, like, fellas and women or whatever, we'll probably see a dude with like some fly shoes on or fly outfit and like, damn, that's just tight. I wonder where you got that shit from.
Straight up.
And not say anything. And it's as simple as like, dog, you killing it.
Yeah,
man.
you flavor it.
That simple thing instead of like fucking looking at him all night nonstop like you like him or something. And if you do like him, just be like, hey man, I like you kind of. I don't know. You know what I mean? Just stop being like, it's cool. Like you're not like, if you see somebody doing their thing, hit them up. Like say it's cool. Like it's cool because like me as a creative, what I'm learning is like, that's what I do it for. Like, that, money's great and shit, but I don't do what I love for money because I was doing what I love when I was a kid and I didn't even care about money. So I'm not doing it for money. But when you build something, you make something, you do something, somebody's like, man, or you make a habit, somebody's like, man, I love this app. I use this every day. It's so good. Priceless feeling, dog. And people don't realize, like, just giving somebody a compliment, like, like that kid that nobody says anything to, but it's like, man, I really like you because you do your thing every day, man. I couldn't even do it. I don't even have the boss to do that. You fly, dog. That can just like shift somebody. That little
ripple.
That little ripple can just shift somebody's whole shit, and that's what we need to do. It's not like the girls. I feel like stuff, that's cool, but like
vulnerable.
Yeah, but it's cool. It's cool to be, it's cool. Like that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a simple thing too, but just saying hi to somebody.
Hi.
Yeah.
It's literally like it's such
and by the way, please excuse me, very big.
Right.
But I mean, but you got to think like all the simple stuff like that we may have been taught in like kindergarten and pre-K that as adults somehow we just don't even think like it matters can stop so many things from happening. Like now I see it. I even kind of find myself in that, but today I stopped myself from doing it. And I feel like even like when you're in traffic, remember when you was a kid, you always try to cut in line. Somebody could be like, I was in line, you know. But as adults now, we do that in traffic. Somebody cut me off. Somebody, fuck, no, man. You try to go, but it's like, why?
Trying to get to that same red light really fast.
Chill. It's cool. And I'm learning that too. I have to tell myself, like, yo, B, chill.
Yeah.
It's cool. Like if the light turned green and somebody's about to want to turn out a driveway, let them go.
Yeah.
And guess what? They got to give me that hand because I look for the piece, you know, when you let somebody and they don't give you that piece. You be like,
then it's like,
come on, bro.
Yeah, I'll let you go. You don't give me that piece. But whatever. Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
I feel like that's what it's cool, man. Like, it's just like, what I'm realizing now is like, so many of us, like, once like people hit 21, you know everything. No, it's like, and that's why so many of us stop growing, stop learning. You may see people you went to school if they look totally different because they just felt like they're 21. They can just drink crazy, eat all they want to, don't gotta work out, can party. You know what? It could be anything, man. But it's like, don't stop. You know, now since you're out of school and now since you're 21, now you can really learn.
Yeah.
You can learn any fucking thing you want to and start developing yourself and your brain more. But yeah, man, like once people hit 21, they just stop. Nothing matters. I know fucking everything. I pay my bills. I got a kid. Fuck you. And it's we don't fucking grow. We don't learn about everything. Nothing.
It's crazy.
Like, it's no, like, you know how it is. Like, man.
Am I 21? You're a baby.
You're just a baby.
I don't even, like 21, like you're 12. Like
man,
that's what it is, bro. Like
it's like you're growing, man. And like it's supposed to be evolving.
It doesn't stop at school. Like good for you, you graduated college, high school, whatever. But like learning and
you know, especially like people that graduate from college, like I went to Harvard, and it's like okay.
Yeah,
you just fucking like
good for you.
Great, I work at Vaughn's, bitch. What?
But yeah, I mean that's what it's all about, man. I just feel like I said, everything's connecting. We just need to keep trying to grow and better ourselves because like through that, like bettering ourselves, learning about ourselves, we learn about our world, we learn about each other and different things, and opening up each other to like our different lifestyles and other people's lifestyles and how they live, and like even as simple as like learning about like how people live in rainforest or talking to a homeless dude, you know, whatever. It's just like that opens you up. Like maybe like on the way to work, like take a different route, you know, listen to a different radio station. I'm not saying go out there and try drugs and do some dumb shit. That's not what I'm saying. You know,
but be curious.
But like, just be like a little open. Like check out that different music. Like maybe, like on the weekend, I always go to this club on this corner, but what's this like jazz club about? Or what's this like country club? You know, you fucking, that's how the most, and if you watch different types of movies, that's what they really base a lot of different movies off of, that little instinct of just like, I feel like so many people have those thoughts in their head, but they don't act on them because they start beating themselves down. Like, oh, what are people going to think about me? It's just like, yo, one life to live.
But what they don't realize there with that kind of like, what are they going to think mentality is that when you 35, those people that you asking yourself what they going to think are nowhere near your fucking ass.
Nowhere near.
So the only person that's going to feel empty if they didn't try or if they didn't give it their all or it didn't turn out the way they wanted to, the only person that's accountable is us.
1,000. And like I said, man, I'm just trying to base this all towards like acts of kindness, being like a little more more open, bro. Just like the simple things, man. I'm not telling like people because I don't do drugs, I don't smoke, I don't drink. I'm not asking anybody to go do that shit and like I'm not asking. That's not what being open means. And I feel like that's the first thing people think about, like when you're like be open, like try different things or different, you know. And I'm learning too. I'm still stepping out of my comfort zone in different situations and being more accepting of other people's lifestyles and different things like that. But I'm not asking you or telling you being open means to go do something insane. Yeah. tracks back to simple things, and it all goes back to self. It's really like it's all in here. What affects everything? Like everything we see now is fucking computer. This beautiful synergy kombucha that I'm drinking, Trilogy, by the way. Well, it all started in the mind.
Yeah, it's weird because I think the grind messes with that. I think the daily grind of trying to make a career, trying to get money or pay your bills.
That does not matter, man. That does not fucking matter, man.
Wouldn't you say the grind messes with people when the grind is for external purposes?
Well, yeah, I mean,
like if somebody's grinding to become, like, it's such a fucking cliche, but like grinding to become as great as they possibly can. At the end of the day, if the only barometer is what you see in the reflection of the fucking mirror, that becomes a lot realer than how your friends see you or what the cool people see you as, right?
That's imagine and that's the thing. Like Anush tapped into that on that topic, before we got like on air or whatever. And you were talking about how like you met a kid or whatever. He was like, "Yeah, I'm trying that, and I'm trying," and it's just like I used to do that too. When people ask me like, "Man, what do you do?" Like, "Yeah, man, I'm trying to do art. I'm trying." And it's just like, no, I do art, because that whole like trying thing, like. What are you trying? Because I think why we do that, because we always associate ourselves with money.
Yeah.
We always like everything goes to
and
money,
validation, bro.
And validation of people. And it's like, if I don't have X amount of dollars and X amount of validations from these people, then I'm not really doing it.
It's so hard to, I can't agree more. It's so hard to separate. Like we've been conditioned to think like that because it's so hard to separate yourselves from that, especially when you live in a city like Los Angeles.
Yeah. Oh man, I was a victim of it for years.
Travel to other places in the world, and it can be very different.
The world is bigger than LA, but I love LA,
bro. I love LA. But,
big ups LA.
But no, it's true. Like you do get caught up in that, and it can really, again, you can just lose yourself in that, and it can be very, very tough.
I've seen it too, man. Like me, like when I graduated high school, not having a job, not going to college, and my mom's like, "What are you doing?" It's like, I'm an artist, check in with reality. Like, yeah. And it's just like,
of course you're an artist,
Yeah, but
but when it's hard to really think that. But, actually, that's actually a good segue. Talk about kind of where you're at now, but what it means to you to be an artist, but also, because this is a topic that we come up with, is being an artist, but also having, making money doing what you love. Because like,
and if we can kind of, with that question in mind, kind of go back to what was the journey like in the struggle of maintaining your livelihood, but also knowing that you wanted to create, right? Because that's a journey in and of itself, right?
Yeah. So I'll just go to like, when I graduated like high school, I didn't know what the fuck I was gonna do. I knew what I wanted to do, but when you have so many people like asking you, "What are you doing?" And when my grandma calls my phone, like, "You're not gonna go to college? By way to do it." And I'm just like, fuck, what am I doing? And I think because of people have all these like things that they think about themselves and their quote unquote reality, they push that on you. And then you start to actually believe that.
That's like a security too.
And you actually become that. And that's another thing, as like humans, we always want that security. If we don't have that, we don't feel comfortable. And what I'm learning, like studying different entrepreneurs and different things, they talk about, and these are all entrepreneurs. They talk about if you have that like consistency and security, you're going to get stuck. From not having security and not knowing what the fuck's about to happen, that's where the magic happens. But nobody wants to like really try that and figure it out for themselves. And what I'm learning is that's why everybody's not.
So for you, big. When you were, coming out of high school and thinking, college is not an option for you, but you needed to make money and pursue your passion.
Well, I ended up getting like a job at like Forever 21 for like 2 months. Hated it. hated myself. And I was like, man, I was making more money when I was just like selling little weed at school and stuff. This is not what I need to be doing. Quit. Went home, told my mom I quit. She was like, what are you doing? That's a good job. You got, you know, my feeling, like I said, for them.
Yeah, you want to be manager Forever 21.
Yeah, for them, it's just like, good job could be target manager.
No,
that's a good job. That's security. Good job you doing. But that's not what I was trying to do. And I knew, like, in my heart, it didn't feel right. So anyway, I ended up started working with kids somehow at the time. And it fell through my mom somehow, from her having a job somewhere after she left her the job she was with the wealthy people. And big ups to that family, because they changed my life, man. Getting me to go to, like, paying for me to go to summer camp as a kid. And I went to stay away camp for the whole summer, the only black kid.
Wow.
First experience in just like different cultures. I mean, I've never used race as a fucking excuse for anything. I don't like that. Like, that's not, and I know there's a bunch of racial things going on in this world and stuff, but me personally, that's not what I'm not about that.
Yeah.
Because I've been in, you know what I mean? I've worked with kids in Beverly Hills and in Malibu, and I'm hosting after school classes, and I'm pulling up to these schools, and they're like, hey, can we help you, sir? And I'm like, yeah, I'm an after school teacher. Are you sure? And I'm like, yes, I'm an after school teacher. Call the principal. That's me. I'm not getting offended by that. That's because I don't have a reason to go pop off at somebody because of what they perceive of me or what they think. I know who I am. I don't. Okay, skin color, what? You know, you talk to me, you'll find out who I am. So I never use that as an excuse. Yeah, I'm black. Get the fuck out of here. I've been pulled over by cops a million times. I don't care. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. You talk to me, check my record, I've never been in handcuffs.
Yeah.
I don't have an issue with that. So if you need to stop me to check because that's what the assumption you're making of me, wonderful. But
and your response plays a role in that
and my response too, because I'm not threatened by that. I don't need to get on the internet like this person did this to me, and people judge people all the fucking time.
Yeah.
We do it ourselves. We see people like, look at this, you know.
Yeah,
you can see a beautiful girl you like, and you see her with a fucking dude, and she got baby. Like, man, look at this fucking clown. Look at this. He's a fucking clown. He's probably the nicest guy in the world. You're like, look at this fucking clown. You know? We fucking do this shit every day. So it's like,
I hear you, but. I mean, there's a big fucking racism problem.
There is.
I'm not discounting.
I'm not discounting.
I'm not discrediting.
I hear you. It's an interesting. You know, from your perspective, it's a very interesting perspective.
And this is coming from. I'm saying, like, I'm not a kid, a geek off the street. You know what I mean? I'm from where it's like,
and that's why it's a fascinating perspective.
And I've seen, what I'm saying is, I've seen so many people use their surroundings, their different things as excuses why they can't go after their dream. Yes, we know there's been racism and all that stuff, but it's always been. What's new under the sun? But at the same time, you can't get caught up into that. And this is when, like, the whole, like, idea of, like, meditation and action comes in. Like, it's cool to, like, meditate and be still, but, like, when people get out of that, and, you know, it doesn't have to literally mean meditation. I'm just saying, when people get out of that peace bubble and then they walk out, then it's gone. But it's like, how do you continue that, like, peace even in, like, weird, uncomfortable situations? And it's like, that's how we can grow and become more powerful as a people, as just day-to-day people. Like, racism, we know that it's cool, we know it's people getting killed over, we know, but it's like, what are we doing for self right now? How are we helping that? Because like I said, that little ripple can cause a big thing. And it's something as, okay, sir, take my license. But if you know you didn't do anything, it's cool.
But one of the interesting things, though, I think, with your story, which allows it to not only be as fascinating, but to look at it as very fortunate, is that, yes, you did grow up there, but circumstances in your life allowed you to see the possibility elsewhere.
And that's what helped me so much.
You were nurtured by a very wealthy white family that gave, regardless of your color, regardless of...
They didn't even see... So, she took me, like, these people took me in as their kid.
Yeah.
Like, they loved me.
So
like,
I
so
completely
much.
respect this perspective.
No, it's
also know
crazy.
that, like, he grew up knowing that it's possible for this not to be a thing. But for the homies of yours that were in the neighborhood, they didn't even
know that, dog. They don't
like,
even.
I think one of the biggest things in, like, especially when we talk with, like, race and the systematic, like, systems in place that really put not only African Americans, but communities in poverty, in perpetual poverty.
They don't get out
is that they don't see a hope, right? They also don't see a possibility that it could get better, right? One of the fortunate things with you is your mom was working. Like, imagine if his mom didn't have that job. Imagine if she was the learning center manager in fucking Redondo, God knows where. It's right?
Wild, it would have been over for me.
But the beauty in that ability to be privileged in that regard, but also see it from both sides of the spectrum. At the end of the day, it's crazy. Like, imagine if we give our communities possibility, dog.
That's exactly it, man.
It all starts at home, though, man, because you got to think, like, the kids I was growing up around in my neighborhood and things, their families was listening to rap music. Their family was listening to that, or they was listening to no music and they just listened to what the brothers listened to or something. My grandma was listening to soca, calypso music and stuff, or she would listen to Elvis, the same fucking song like 50 times that she only knows like 2 words of, you know what I mean? And my mom was listening to all this like roots and reggae and things, and she even got into like Etta James and occasionally and different things, but that opened me up like to like just different sounds and different things, and I feel like parenting and different things, it stems back. Like, my mom could have easily gave me a football and been like, yo, you gonna play football. But since I didn't have that like male figure and and also her working with the wealthy family, I ended up getting on the Razor scooter. I ended up like riding a Segway. These kids in my neighborhood don't even know what a Segway is at the time. It's just crazy.
It's just, like I said, I think your experience even from from being
shifted
that young
me
and
completely.
Like, it's just to who you are now, and it's crazy. But it's just I find that so interesting, your perspective on it's so. I love it because it really shows such a different light in every possible way. Like, you're talking about something that is just not shown or heard of. It's not like you're such a fucking rarity in this.
1000%.
That's what's so interesting about it.
I think like we were talking before, like when I graduated from high school, and like I just knew like I can, and I'm not saying like I'm the like wealthiest person now, because I'm not. It's like days when I don't know, but that's okay. It's not my job, like I said, to know. I don't have to know everything. And a lot of times, so many of us, we know so many friends that are talented at things that they can blow up if they focus in on it and just work at it, but they don't. And it just goes back to like, working at that craft all the time. But when I was in high school, I knew it was possible because I saw that Ferrari. And I'm not saying Ferrari as in like material thing, but as far as like that man wanted that car. That's not no normal car, and he got it. And he has like 3 of them parked. And he has that big ass pool, and he has that somebody in this family. It could have not been him, could have been his wife's family, could have been somebody made that happen for generations. And that's what inspired me, because I continue to see like people in my family struggle, work normal jobs, just be day to day, which is nothing wrong with that. Everybody's like, my favorite reggae artist, one of them named Anthony B, he said everybody's not going to be a lion. That's okay. I understand that. But I was just like, I just don't want to have baby mama drama. I just don't want to have like co-parenting. I just don't want to, I don't want to have none of that. Just like, the stuff that I was seeing in my neighborhood. I didn't want to be around that. I didn't want to dress like this no more. I didn't want to, you know what I mean? I just wanted to I knew what I wanted. And from seeing that family and seeing how they were, their shit could have probably not even been together. They could have had a horrible, they could have hated each other for all I know. But I just saw like the possibility of having more. They, what really helped me was going to like summer camps and stuff that they took me, and I was the only black kid there, and seeing all these other kids that loved me. At first it was weird because they, this is like back when no internet was popping. These kids in like middle school and like 6th grade and stuff never had to go like hang out with black kids because they live in like private places from all over the U.S. and out of the U.S. and stuff. It was called Jameson Ranch Camp. If you do have the funds, send your kid there. Life changing. I mean, horseback riding, everything is done on the ranch, on the farm, completely changed my life, dog. And to this day, I still like ride in my car or I'm just out playing on my own, riding my bike, whatever, and I have memories of like things that I have scars from falling, and I look at it in the shower like, damn, it's like a piece of wood that we like cut from a tree and sanded it down, and I was like fucking 11, dog. I still have that piece of wood, and that shit means so much to me because it's like that like helped me so much, man. Like these people like just like giving my mom, like even caring. And it's that simple act of like her boss, but husband and wife could have been like, I really like that kid, but I don't really care, you know.
Yeah.
But they acted.
They took an extra step.
They took an extra step, and they acted. And you know, them paying like fucking $3,000 for me or $5,000 to go to camp for the summer is like them spending $20 at Whole Foods. This ain't shit. You know, these people got fucking acres.
Straight up.
Man. This shit ain't doing nothing to send this little boy to. What the fuck? That's they ain't affecting my boy.
Sure.
If anything, I'm probably gonna use that as a tax write-off or some shit. Whatever. Fuck it. But it's like, man, that like, and it's crazy because I wrote the husband a letter, and I still stay in contact with him like daily. You know what I mean? But something in me was just like I even tweeted about it. Like, man, I woke up just like out of nowhere, just like crying, dog. Like, man, like I'm really thankful. Like, and if it wasn't for that moment and those people, my mom meeting those people and the universe like connecting and making it happen, dog, I still would have been like, you know, into different things, but I still wouldn't have had that like full perspective, and that's what shaped me when I was in that moment in high school where
A very pivotal moment too.
yeah, when I was in high school where like things were rough and I was just like, what the fuck I'm gonna do? Because I thought like, man, he did it. They did it. I can do it, and this is what I want. And my grandma wakes up every morning and she does what she loves. Why can't I? And she didn't even graduate from elementary, so why can't I? I'm gonna do it. I want to. And you know, everybody's looking at you like crazy. You're tripping. You quit your job. What are you doing? You know, you start working with kids. You're not trying to work with kids. But it's fun. I'm learning. I'm maturing so much to do that because I have to talk to the parent about the kid this day and what they did. And these are professional people in Beverly Hills who are plastic surgeons, all types of stuff. And I have to rap for my people. I have to, like,
Straight
my
up.
family, I have to talk, be presentable, look presentable, different things. And, you know, they probably don't even fucking care. But in my mind, I still have to rap.
Sure.
And at the end of the day, I'm being myself. I never went in there, like, trying to act like something I'm not. Or, you know, I still was me. But it was just like, wow, you know, they're walking in and they're like, you know, the nanny is like, who? Why is my kid hanging on this black man? But it's like, then they talk and they're like, oh, I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, it was a very interesting time, man, because I still had all these goals and things I wanted to do. I would tell friends, family, mom, whatever, you know, I want to go to Japan, I want to go to London, I want to do these things. And it's just like, you know, you're just a dreamer, you're tripping. But it's like, I still didn't give a fuck what anybody said because I know it's possible. And I always tell myself, I'm going to be that person that breaks that cycle in my family, that turns some shit into something totally different. Like, to the point where, like, my little cousins and stuff, no matter what they're going through, doesn't mean I'm going to just be Mr. Handout, man. But it's like, if they graduate from school or whatever, I can put them into working for a company or something because I know a guy or a friend, or I have my own fucking company, and they can start building and learning about something and do what they love. You know what I mean? Yeah. And that's my goal. Like, and I still always think about that. But as one of my favorite speakers, like Eric Thomas said, it's like, you're talking about you want to do this, you want to do that, but you didn't even like take the effort and follow through. And I was talking about I wanted to travel and do all these things, but I didn't even have my fucking passport. And it's like, how do I want to travel if I don't have my passport renewed? The last passport I had was when I went to Belize to visit my family, and I was like 4.
Yeah.
How am I going to travel?
That expired at 14.
Exactly. I can get a fucking call today. Well, how am I going to go anywhere? And that day I went to go like renew my passport. I told my mom I tried to do this thing. Man, I didn't know how the fuck I was going to do this. I really didn't know, but I knew I had to follow through and do something. Literally, like maybe like 4 months later, end up traveling.
It's crazy.
And it was like, in that moment, like, even though where I'm at now and I don't know what's going to happen and all this and yada, yada, whatever, man, but I proved to myself already that it's possible. And everything that I have now and that I wanted, I all had that all on my vision board. I wrote that down. And that just shows you how we're magnets, man, and manifesting your dreams is so real. And it's like, if you believe in yourself, and I'm not saying if you're trying to be the next Mariah Carey or some crazy shit, I don't fucking, you know, and like, and you know your crafts, that, you know, do something that you know that's like legit and you're passionate about and you're good at. But it's fucking possible. So,
yeah. How wild is it for you? Like, not how wild is it? Excuse me. I want to go into your vision board, right? Because I feel like it's so important. And this is coming from a dude that doesn't have a vision board. Like, I'll write my goals down and shit. But we were talking together that day about your vision board and how it constantly kind of moves forward. You'll take things that haven't happened yet and put them on a new one, or your vision board constantly builds. And like, I'm just thinking about that conceptually, and I'm like, fuck, that seems like such a great idea, right? To me, I'm over here like fanning out, and this is the second time I've thought about it. So
yeah,
shout out to the third time that it happens for me.
There you go, the third time. So now the follow through. I got introduced to that by like Earl Nightingale and stuff, studying his like concepts and different things that he talked about, and how they were talking about the law of attraction and all that stuff. And I was just, I don't know, something, I had this like crazy like paradigm shift for whatever reason. I don't know. It's just like unlearned everything I knew and my mom taught me and stuff, whether it's health, whether it's books, whether it's any fucking thing, you know what I mean? And literally relearn. And I don't know how it happened. It just happened somehow. And I was in my room and I just like started doing all this like crazy research of everything. I mean, anything you can think of that you know, that you thought you knew, is like literally stripping myself from that and like learning. It was a very interesting time, very stressful, very like weird, very like paranoid. It was like some like Matrix movie type shit. Like,
wow.
You know, what is the dude with the bald dude?
Morpheus?
Yeah, it's like Morpheus like took me out of nowhere. Just like everything you know is a fucking lie. You're an idiot. Let's relearn. I'm just like sweating. It was like that type of shit, but in my room by myself.
Just loaded all the information.
Loaded all the fucking information, dog. And it was just like very like powerful to like learn all that shit. You know? And it needed to happen, man. It needed to happen. And where's the question you're asking again?
No, that's it, because it's like you seem to have such a genuine like lust for knowledge, and what's beautiful about your path is that your observances and your eye and your experiences have incredibly shaped who you are and your output. Right, so you're, and that's the beauty of the essence of a creator, right? Like they see the world a type of way, they feel the world a type of way, and you know, we were talking about in this digital age, especially like originality is kind of becoming obsolete. But I think in this day and age, like the beauty of originality is inspiration will get from everywhere. Nothing in this day and age is an original concept anymore. But
it's getting there.
But the more and more of you become, the quest for you, the input is seen and the output is original in that it's an expression of your thoughts or how you see the world, whether it's in writing a song or whether it's in painting a painting. How you see the world, you do it that type of way because it's how you feel.
Exactly.
It's not like, damn, I just need to go copy this and go do that.
Tapping into what you're saying about the whole like vision board thing. So like when Earl Nightingale and I learned, and whoever's listening to this, if you research it on your own, you might like, you know, that might
Earl Nightingale, ladies and gentlemen,
might help you like learn about.
B's whispering into the microphone. Earl Nightingale.
Earl Nightingale. So basically, the vision board, they talk about writing your goals down. Different speakers I was listening to and different people I was studying, they talk about writing your goals down and also making a vision board and seeing it. But they said, like, you can't only do that, you have to act on it, because some people just do that and they don't do anything else.
They put it in the closet. Like,
so it's basically like how we know our conscious mind sleeps and sometimes wakes up, and our subconscious mind never fucking sleeps. That's why, like, if you have the TV on and different things, you're driving your car, it's like, well, damn, why do I keep singing that commercial? Why didn't, you know, it's like when you're driving your car, you don't have to tell yourself, okay, brake, stop, turn. Like, the subconscious mind just knows. And that goes back to when I was talking about, like, my mom playing, like, all that reggae music in those wires, where she had no idea. It was training my subconscious mind. She could have been playing rap or, like, different things, and it could have just fucked me up, but it didn't, you know? And, so writing, when you like write your goals down, you basically make this vision board. I went to the extreme of like, thanks for living in a digital age. I can put it as my background on my phone. So I'm looking at it every day. And then it went as far as like me studying about this dude like named Tahuti Ma'atra, who like really helped like shift my a whole perspective on some spiritual shit.
What was his name?
Tahuti Ma'atra, if you find him. A lot of his videos don't exist, but maybe Google and read up on some of the things he wrote about. But he was talking about how you have to, and this guy was from like South Central, from Watts and different things too. So he made a full 360, and that's kind of what attracted me to him even more, because this isn't some dude who was like wealthy and stuff. He came from like zero, and now he's a herbalist, and like he was like, 20 years vegan and all these things. And I got into that, and the only reason I knew about veganism and different things was because listening to all the reggae roots and things, and a lot of like Rasas are vegans and things. And my mom and grandma shopping at Food for Less, but her boss and them shopping at Whole Foods.
Right.
Wow.
And I'm asking my mom, why do they shop there? Like, why was that chips I ate there so good or whatever? But that place is expensive.
Yeah, super expensive.
But that's all she would say. That place is expensive. All right, cool, whatever. But I would go to the point where like things I wanted, whether it's a car, whether it's an apartment, different things, like envision myself in that element. Like, so if I'm driving in my car and it's making noise, about to break down, like I envision myself like I'm in the car I want. I already have it.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, like start envisioning myself as I already have it. I want that apartment when my mom's not home or whatever. I already have it. I'm here right now. And that, little did I know, that like helped me so much, because everything I wrote on that vision board, everything I went like literally in fucking detail, dog. It's so trippy, so inspiring, that's why now I'm like, no matter what happens in my life, even if I kind of like get a little worried and stuff, cause it's natural, we're human.
Yeah.
But something in me still like, man, I already saw how the universe like plays its part, and when I play my part, how it plays its part.
You've done it before.
I've done it before. And like I said, like why people don't follow through on so many things in life is because they think if you're not doing it big, like if you're not a fucking Kanye West or a Pharrell, or you're not a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs, you're not doing it big. But that's total bullshit. It's like, that's us like comparing ourselves to other people, and it's like, it doesn't fucking matter. Just like doing something is anything big. Like even if you say you're going to print up 10 t-shirts, which I don't recommend, because that's flooded right now. Let's do something else. But if you print up 10 t-shirts, right, and none of them sell, you still fucking follow through. You still designed it. You still got it printed. You did it. Even if it fails, you learn the process. You did it. And it's like, through that's how we grow and become better. And it's like, when I was making those stickers in high school, and even though they were the incorrect paper, and I posted them, and when it rained, that ink was bleeding, and I saw it, but I still did it. I still did it. You know what I mean? And that's was like super powerful. Like when I did that vision board, I envisioned myself like having all those things, and I was looking at it daily, and I was just basically training my subconscious mind to like not even notice it when I unlocked my phone. I already looked at it once while I looked at the time, and I got it. Yeah. And I feel like if we all work towards that, something positive, and it can't be like money driven. Like I know people like, yeah, but money isn't important, but we all need it. Like it's a necessity and different things. And yes, like money is just a tool, and money is only gonna get you more of what you already have. Sure. You know what I mean? So just take money out the equation. And if you were a billionaire, like if I was that wealthy family that my mom was working for, and money, I didn't even have to fucking think about what would I be doing every day. And that's what I try to aim towards. And as long as I play my part, I do good. You know what I mean? I work on myself. I go inward. I learn about myself, and I work towards my goals daily, and I work on my craft. Like, you look at Michael Jordan, fucking Tiger Woods, whether they're retired or not, they still fucking practice. They still shoot. Yeah. How can I lose? It's like, it's literally no fucking way if you work towards it and you build it. I don't know, like anybody would tell you that. I'm sure it's big that has done it, I don't know. And I haven't like done it like fucking, like, I don't know, Rob Dyrdek or whoever, but even they'll fucking tell you like straight up. Yeah. If you just like, it's simple, it's literally simple. Like it's the simple. This is shit they don't teach you in school. No. Yeah, this isn't like school. This is like real. This is like life. This is the universe. This is like bigger than that. You know what I mean? So that's just what I think of, man, all the time. And that vision board shit is powerful, and like, shit, man, it's life. It's straight real. It's you.
Straight up.
And so right now, what are you striving to do, or who are you striving to be?
Work more towards my craft, and like somehow, like, not perfect. I'm never gonna be perfect, but learn more about my craft and like my ability, like pay attention to my techniques when I'm doing different things. But for most part, do art, and through doing art, motivating people, on my path and, you know, inspiring others. And I want to inspire, create dope things that shift people's mind and help. That's all I really want to do.
What type of stuff are you creating right now?
I just did today. I shot some photos, so I'm working on like a new vision thing that I'm gonna throw up on my website. I just finished a drawing of like the homeless dude you saw, named Lavelle, aka the Crenshaw Cowboy. Shout out to
Hashtag Cowboy. Anu showed me some prints before.
Really, thank you. Dude.
Those were amazing.
Thank you, man.
Are you trying to just build a collection of all different types of stuff?
Yeah. So I think I was in a position where I was working with so many like different artists and different things, like, and I think it was like a learning period. I was very thankful for the process. I'm thankful for everybody that like guided me through that process and that I met. It was amazing, you know, to learn. And like I said, the universe doesn't make mistakes. So I'm thankful for all the people I worked with. But what I've noticed is I forgot about me. I forgot that I was an artist too, and I wasn't like worrying about myself. And I think more than anything, that's what kind of like the homeless dude that I met, like, taught me. And no, and you can easily be like, oh yeah, the homeless dude taught you that because you're gonna be just like him. Like, no. You know what I mean? No, like I feel like the universe is speaking to me through him and what I learned and what he was basically saying. And a lot of different entrepreneurs I love to study and teach is like, you know, are you working towards somebody else's goals or your own? And with this one life I have to live. That's very important. It made me think of like when I was working at Forever 21, I hated myself. I was making money. I had a little bit of gas, even though I wasn't making a lot. And those go back racks were stupid. It's why are people throwing shit everywhere? Like, by the way, like if you go to a store and you unfold something, please like try to fold it back. even though like you don't give a fuck and that's their job, but still it probably is going to help somebody whole day. And that goes back to simple things. But yeah, man, it's like, it made me think like I'm happy, but I'm not like fully happy, man. Like, you know, like I'm not like fully doing what I love. I'm not even like creating. I'm not even practicing. I watched an interview about Michael Jackson, and this is like before he died, I guess. Like a guy named like Brett Ratner or whatever like interviewed him. It was like a secret interview. I actually watched it the other day. He was like, if you can go back, what would you do differently? And Michael fucking Jackson talks, I would practice more. And I'm just like, bro, what? I'm not like, and I'm not saying I can't like live life. I can't be young. I can't go out and have fun and everything. So you have to do that. But it's like, I haven't been working towards my craft how I need to. It hasn't been like a do or die situation for me. It wasn't like, even when I was back in high school, I wasn't like, I have to sit down and I have to finish this drawing this week. No, I was like fucking lollygagging here and there, like kind of drawing, kind of not, kind of off. And if I would have had somebody, or maybe my mom, or maybe somebody like, you know how you'll see different like kids who are classically trained, not even to that extent of like forcing me to do something I hate, but kind of just like forcing it upon me in a fun, cool way. Man, like, I don't.
In today's age, is a mentor.
Mentor. Like if I had that mentor or something, no telling where I would have been. You know what I mean? But like I said, the universe doesn't make mistakes, so it's like a learning process. And now I'm just like, like I said, I've proven to myself like financially, like the universe will set all that stuff up for me. And right now, I'm learning how to just play my part and believe and trust, and also surrender. And not have to act like I'm this fucking robot and know everything. And even though I get scared and freak out, I just have to go back to remembering that vision board, remembering that Ferrari I saw. Straight up. Yeah, even though I don't want a Ferrari, but remembering that backyard, remember those Razor scooters? Like, I just have to believe. Remember when, like, my mom was like, what are you doing with your life? And everybody's like, what are you doing? Even friends, like, what are you doing, dog? And I have to remember when I was just like, I'm doing art. And I just have to go back to that. Even like now as a young adult, like just follow through, continue to do my thing. It's no way I can lose, dog. It's like it's no way anybody can lose. It's impossible. It's the only way you'll lose is like if you do like Michael Jackson said and don't practice it towards your shit. Especially if you're like good, you're decent, you're a good person, you're positive, you're loving. Man, come on, man. I can fucking, and that's how I know I can do anything I put my mind to.
Absolutely.
Anything, no matter how much time it might take or whatever, and the learning curves and stuff, I can fucking do it. You know, and me doing my thing doesn't mean like, it means that I want to be like a fucking superstar and be on the set, because that's not my goal. I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? But for my dreams, what they are, I can do it. I know it's possible. We know too many people
straight up
that's doing shit,
straight
living
up.
life, like just chilling, dog, like and helping, and you know, it's possible, man. So I think right now, yeah, man, I'm just like striving towards my vision and learning too, because I had this point where it's like, even in school, like as a kid, like I'll go ride my skateboard, come in, like ride my bike, come in, and my grandma would be like, yo, like, boy, where the fuck you do? And that basically means like, boy, what are you doing? You want your bike? You want your scooter? You want your skateboard? What do you want? And when my mom got me a motorbike, a mini bike, oh wow, it was fucking over, dog. Yeah. But my grandma's just like, what do you want? It's like, grandma, I want to do everything. Man, you gotta choose one thing. You can't be out here. You focus on one thing. Oh, grandma, I want to do everything. And when I got in like high school and stuff, it's like drawing, kind of doing like a little t-shirt design, even though I wasn't like fully on it, but it's like, hey, you're amazing, you're great, but you need to focus in on one. I want to do all this shit together. And I'm just now getting to the point where, and I even doubted myself, like, I do need to do one thing, but it's like my patience is very like short, man. Like, especially I can't like draw forever. That's why I draw like probably like once every 2 months or something. I just can't sit there. But I'm just now learning how to make it work all as one unit and make sense. And that's what took me so long to figure out. And now I think I got it, where it makes sense, where I can make the drawings I want to do work, make the graphics work, make the paintings I love, and make the music I love, and even clothes, and all make it work as one thing, to where that's me. I'm the artist, I'm the creative. And it took time. And even though like I'm not blowing up, I'm not doing things, it's trial and error. And that's why I'm thankful to go through all these hurdles and different things and have down times and up times and low times, because like even those up times and different things that I had, I could have easily been like, hell yeah, I'm getting money, let's do this. But now, like, from like learning those wise things from these different like people I was studying, like learning about investing in myself, and like that's what a lot of like youth, we don't even like learn about. Sure. Like invest, and I'm not saying go invest your money in a trust fund or a bond or a different thing. I'm talking about investing in your craft. So if you are trying to like DJ, okay, are you going to buy the DJ equipment so you can practice every day at home? You know, it's like that follow.
I think it's the mix of it's the mix of being focused, disciplined, following through, and being committed to that. And I think a lot of people struggle with that.
We all do, man.
You know, I think it's hard to commit, but we hear it all the time. You know, pick one thing and go really, really hard on that one thing.
It's as kids, it's so hard, man.
It's hard. But I mean, from what you're saying to where you are right now, I think is a really cool place, because you said something important, that it's right now you're thinking about what's important to you in your journey,
in my journey, man.
And being a little, you know, I hate to use this word selfish, but being a little just more just finding out what's important to you and being kind of content and one with that, to take your next step to figure out what you really want to be doing in the bigger picture. While all these things that have led up to this, you know, now it seems like this is the next phase, the next chapter.
Exactly. It's a complete shift, man, that the universe has like provided for me, and I'm thankful. And I think what also keeps me very motivated is like this like idea. It's a story of like the Chinese bamboo tree or whatever. And I was telling somebody about this. I think I was telling my girl about this too. Like the Chinese bamboo tree or whatever. And it's a story that they tell people, but it's actually a real story. But you've seen that picture of like the guy mining, and he's like super close and he walks away, and then it's another dude that got it. You ever seen that?
No.
All right. Anyway, it's like diamonds and he's memeing for it. But anyway, the Chinese bamboo tree is a story of like this guy who he's like a farmer and stuff, and he doesn't, his family is like struggling, and they have like little like other plants or like fruits or whatever that he's farming that they're kind of getting money off of, but they're like struggling. And he learned about bamboo, how like they're strong, they grow big, he can get a lot of money for this. So he starts growing bamboo, and he plants the seeds in the ground, and his family's like, okay, cool. And he starts watering them every day, and like a year goes by and nothing happens. And they're just like, oh, okay. People are kind of laughing at him. He starts watering again. Second year, nothing happens, and people are still looking at him like, yo, you're insane. Like, people are literally laughing at this dude, but he's still like believing in the fact that I can do this.
Yeah.
But during that process, he's still like watering it every day. Like this is the key thing. Like he waters it every day, no matter what. it gets to the point where his wife and his family is like, yo, what are you doing? Like, we are struggling. Still waters it every day. It got so bad, like 3 years passed, and people in his like village and stuff, they start, they don't even like pay attention to him anymore. He's just now just a crazy dude that's watering plants. Still watering it every fucking day. Family completely broke. Still what? 4 years go by. Still watering it. And now just nobody even fucking gives a fuck about this dude. Still watering. 5 years go by, dog. 5 fucking years of watering a plant every day. He never stops. Even when he cries, even when he gives up, he still waters it. Out of nowhere, he hears like this fucking big shouting and like people screaming and stuff. He runs out when he sees like his bamboo starts to finally grow a bit in 5 years. Over 6 months, this shit grows 90 feet. This is the thing with bamboo though, like you have to water, and from at least what I've learned, like with bamboo, you have to water it every day and nurture it every day before it can start growing. But you have to do it for 5. So you're probably gonna water it for like 5 years and nothing's gonna happen. Wow. But then in 6 weeks, or I believe either 6 weeks or 6 months, it grows 90 feet from the ground. So, but basically what they're saying is does the bamboo grow 90 feet in 5 years or 6 weeks?
Oh, right.
You know, and that's the tricky thing. It's like even though we don't see anything happening in our life, people let up. Like, you know, even for me, I don't have a big following on Instagram. I don't have like on social networks. But like I said, at the end of the day, that doesn't mean anything to me, because when I was living on 36th Street with my grandma, I didn't even know what Instagram was. It didn't exist. And I was still like nurturing my craft, working towards it, doing it because it's what I love. But people can easily like, man, I want to be a songwriter. I want to do something. They put out a song and nobody likes it or nobody cares, and they stop. They stop nurturing. They stop nurturing it. And I always just think about that bamboo thing. Like, even if shit's not going right, even if things fuck up, even if like my bank account is on like negative, I'm not gonna fucking stop. Like, I'm gonna keep nurturing, because as we know, we've all been in a position where you get that call and it's like that 90 feet in a day, not even in 6 weeks, in a day.
Exactly.
And it's so possible. So that's just kind of what I always think of the Chinese bamboo tree.
That's a great way to look at it though. Like,
and it's real, man. Shout out to bamboo.
Because like literally something can happen 3 weeks from now where, let's even say just in the world of this digital media sphere, your follower count can go up fucking 100,000. But if you're not on your craft, then what does that matter?
Yeah, but on your craft and working towards it and studying and nurturing your thing, that's the watering. If you're not watering your shit every day, you're worrying about what people say. You're worrying about who follows you, who cares, who doesn't like, who likes. Like, you're not even doing it for the right reasons. But 2, that bamboo's not gonna grow because you stop watering for a few months, and then that's what I think about now. Like, when I was in like high school and shit, I wasn't really nurturing my craft and work fully. I was kind of like bullshitting. I water it once.
There's very few at that age that dedicate.
Exactly, but it's like now, since I know that and I'm wise enough to know that, now I need to be on it every day. Something like, even if I'm a little tired, like even like a little doodle or a little like computer player, even like searching for new songs on the internet, like while I'm in my car on SoundCloud to make a new mix or something, like to DJ or something. It's like something I can be doing something. Like, we can all be
adding
doing something.
value every day.
Absolutely.
Something, man. So I don't know. Figure out how to turn the hustle into something and set up shop, like my girl.
Set up shop, baby.
Set up shop, man.
Set up shop.
Bringing it all the way back to set up shop.
Straight up
shop, man. We gonna set up shop. Yeah, this is right here what we're doing here. Like, you guys could have not followed through. You could have.
I mean, bro. Like, funny story about this is that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember you were telling me.
Like, Joe hit me like, yo, like I you know, and I like in my head, in my heart of hearts, in that moment when he told me like, yo, bro, like I really been wanting to start a podcast. I think it'd be great if we do one together. In my heart, I was like, fuck yeah. Right? But in my head, I was like, I don't know. What if I'm not good? Like, what if the shit sucks?
Set up shop. Fuck it. Set up shop. Let's get it. Like, you don't have to like know.
Yeah.
And you probably didn't know. No, but you're here. You're here.
Yo, funny story. He texted me. I literally was holding my phone in my hand when he texted me, and I saw it pop up. And I'm looking at it, and I was like, I'm not responding. Bitch ass. 4 days go by. 4 days go by. And he calls me. Like, he actually texted me once afterwards, like, yo, what's up? But like in my head, I was like, oh, you trapping me with the yo, what's up? Like, fuck you. I'm not answering your text. So he calls me 4 days later. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? Like, fuck this. I've already felt what bottom was. Like, if I want to, fuck this. Let's go. Let's run it. Like, literally, the phone was ringing. I'm looking at it. I was like, yeah, baby, we running this shit. Picked up. Yo, I know I didn't answer your text. Let's run it. Let's go. He's like,
it was that. Yeah.
He actually said after that, did you get my text? I was like, did you not hear me, dog? Let's run it. Let's rock. But
yeah, that follow through is powerful, man. Like,
but it takes time. Like, this is the beauty of it, man. There's no absolutes, right? There's a beauty in sometimes not following through, but knowing that you didn't, right? It's all learning. It's all an accumulation of experiences. Like, to me, what I've really come to internalize is it's not about the destination, it's about the pursuit, right? And what I mean by that isn't like the beauty of how wonderful the journey sounds and the story is. It's that, you know, all of these motivational speakers, all of these people that have done it before, entrepreneurs, athletes, whatever, like all of these philosophies, most likely we internalize and we know. Like, we can watch a video, hear an interview, and be like,
if you don't follow through,
like, yeah, he's so right. But like I tell a lot of people that I come across, especially creatives, there's a difference between knowing something's right or knowing something's positive and acting on it. Mm-hmm. Because the action, like, let's even say like you're a musician or an artist or whatever, talking about your actions isn't as flowery as people make it seem. Like, the shit doesn't sound as tight as like Instagram and these fucking like radical documentaries.
It's all these steps. Like, even me sometimes, like, I even want to like skip steps sometimes.
No, and that's the thing. You can't skip the step. You have to be relentless.
You cannot. But like, the beautiful thing is like, we know that in the trenches is where we gain the most. Mm-hmm. But the trenches suck. Right? The trenches are hard. The trenches will make you want to fucking quit. The trenches will make you want to roll the white flag up, right? But it's those things that make getting out of them that much better.
Well, yeah, then that's why
it's not all fucking unicorns and rainbows and like, yeah, dog, the call came in and it was on and popping. The fucking 4 years before the call came in, you were busting your ass.
And I think that's what like for me, like in school too, I realized, like, and even growing up, like, people don't tell you about that, or like people don't show you that. They just like tell you if like, oh, you go to college, you're gonna do it. You know, they need to like
be persistent.
They need to be
strong.
They need to be real, like with like, especially the man. It just all goes back to the youth for me. Like, man, I just want to speak to a kid that maybe who can be like so powerful and stuff, but they just don't have like that wealthy family that their parents work for. You know, like those are like in like my lifetime. That's what I want to do, like help those kids, because these are the people that are going to really help shape.
Because you've been that kid.
Yeah, because I've been that kid. Like, I didn't have it when I was in elementary. We didn't have anybody come talk to us and tell us things, because we wanted to go to this fucking hood ass school and talk to these kids. Really, like nobody. Like, it wasn't a thing. But what you said made me think of like this thing that like Steve Harvey was saying. I know people be like, Steve Harvey, what the fuck? But yeah, this guy is like fucking powerful.
The cliff story,
yeah. And he just talks about how, like, man, we stand on the edge of the cliff and we look at people soaring and flying, and we just stand on the edge. We're too scared to jump. But it's like, you have to jump. Yeah. If you want to fly, I mean, you have to jump. But what he said that was really powerful is like, well, guess what? I'm going to tell you, when you do jump, you're going to get fucked up. You're going to get cut. You're going to get bruises. You might get knocked out and fall and then wake back up. But it's like, eventually, then the wings will come and you'll fly. And
straight up.
I think even me, I'll be honest with you, I'm getting beat up right now.
You're climbing back up the hill.
I'm low key like, oh my gosh, I need to climb back the hill, but I just let go and I'm still falling right now and getting hit by cliffs and shit. But that's okay, because I know eventually I'm gonna be fine.
Beautiful,
There's a beauty in that for sure.
And I can admit that, you know, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you like, I'm good. No, like I'm getting fucking beat right now. Cliffs is fucking me up, man. But shit. That's life, man.
That's life.
And I'm still setting up shop while I'm falling.
You better set up. You better never stop setting up shop.
Shit, man.
Yo, this has been absolutely incredible.
Yeah, man, thank you.
Thank you so much for giving us the time and sharing your story so openly.
I just hope, whoever's listening, like, take something from this and like help and can help them in their daily life, and maybe they go talk to that person or they do that thing they want to do, or maybe even make some time, because we all have time. Really, if we want to, you know, when you want to go see that girl, or when you want to go see that dude, or when you want to go get that drink on the weekend, y'all it's gonna make time. So you got fucking time. I don't want to hear it. You know, P Diddy got time. You know, he's fucking busy ass dude. So.
Straight up.
Where can people connect with you, B?
Find me on Instagram at BWChillin', or check out my website, you know, where everything is by BWC.com. And yeah, I'm sure, or on Anusha's page or somebody's going to attack me. Straight up.
Go to Anusha's page, attack his ass. Get in it. So, yeah, man, thank you for coming
Utmost
on,
love, man, for real.
Very interesting.
Utmost love. This was
story,
incredible.
Mama, we going to make it, and we made it.
Yeah, that's right. That's
Mama,
right.
we just made it.
Mama, we just
literally.
made it.
Mama, we made it.